Hey, what's up, guys? It's Greg here. I hope you're having an awesome day today, and I hope you're ready to make an appointment booking class website here for your business or your service or maybe your expertise that you're trying to offer something like a yoga class or a cooking class on, or maybe your friends or family have some space and they're trying to book up that space and book up the time with students from your community. If that's the case and you're not super into coding and don't want to waste your whole day making a website that's confusing, then this video is for you because we're going to make everything super easy, super clean, drag and drop. You don't have to have any previous website skills, and you'll leave this video here today with a complete website that offers bookings and all sorts of other cool pages made with the website software I'm sure you've heard about, which is Squarespace. So what I wanted to do is give you a quick tour here and then tell you how our videos work. And then without wasting any more time, we'll jump right in and start building. And even though we're going to make this exact website here, there are tons of other templates on Squarespace. You just visit this page right here that'll be in the video description. Go to templates. And then from here, you can easily choose the type of website you want to make, like a scheduling website, and then choose what it's about. Like maybe you want to do food, and go down and pick the website template that works for you. Basically, it's like looking at your favorite websites online in your daily life and then just clicking on them and choosing them, and all of a sudden your fairy godmother comes in and gives you the website and puts it all on your own domain name, and you get to actually have the website and put in your own content, make it your own, and then show it to the world and be like, look what I made. And of course, we're going to make our own domain name too. I just chose this one, thegrumpypirate.com, just because I'm trying to be cute. So the coolest thing about the Squarespace website that we're going to make together is everyone books, because we make the classes page super easy to find on the website. And I have a feeling we're going to get a new student in a moment. When your new student is chilling at the pool and decides to check out your classes and sign up, they'll get a confirmation sent to their email and a QR code to browse more classes. And of course, you'll also get a confirmation sent to your email, where you can go ahead and change their scheduling or send them updates from. We can see all of this is for real, and it gives your new students confidence that they're actually going to come in and see you. Smiles. This is all made easier for beginners with Acuity scheduling that we're going to set up later in the video with Squarespace. So our website here has all these cool features, and we really push the boundaries of what Squarespace templates offer. And I'm so excited that we did that. Those features include a huge home screen video at the top of your website that plays automatically in HD with this awesome call to action text above it, and these buttons to get people anywhere on your website right where you want them to go. For example, they can click on this button and check out all the classes that the website offers here. Or someone could click on this button right here and meet the teachers on the site. So every page offers some really cool new visuals in a fun, modern, cutting-edge fashion. I love how the images pop in like that. Everything's going to appear bright and fresh for your audience, and super simple too, because we want people to be able to get around and not get bogged down with the details. Basically just be able to find you, get a good vibe. We're going to set up this cool video header background too, and a map. Obviously you're going to learn all about fonts and different text sizes and how to use Microsoft Word type of tools in your site. All those skills will be yours. Of course, a website is all about the images, and you'll have unlimited images at your fingertips, whether you want to use your own photos from your phone, like I did from our real pottery date night here with Dear Traveler and Kova the Kavapu, or you want to use some stock images. Squarespace will provide you with all the tools, and you can go ahead and use your templates images if you're running short on time. Like this yoga with a view here was from the Squarespace template, or you can add your own. To add your own image, it's super easy. Just bring it in here with the upper right corner arrow, then click on the big edit button. Next, you just need to go to your section. Squarespace is built in these vertical sections, so it's kind of just like stacking one brick on top of another brick, or a shoebox, or maybe a cubby in grade school. And then when you want to edit it, you just go into the cubby here and click edit section. You can click on background, add an image, select from library. Squarespace offers tons of awesome free images from professional photographers. And all you do basically, guys, is just click on the image you want, click the big add image button, and now you can go down here and change the effect. For example, I want our image to be a parallax image with Squarespace, so that's why I chose tilt. There are lots of different ways to make your site stand out and look impressive to your customers who will hopefully book your classes. Once you've got your work done for the day, hover on done and click save, and everything will go live. So aside from that image, I thought I'd try to impress you guys with one more feature before we start actually building this whole website right here, and that is the appointment section. So if we click book a class, it's the most important part of your website to get people signed up, get them to pay, which you'll of course be able to do here, and get them to your space. So if you come down here and your website, for example, has these appointment classes for 2 hours, and these are like group classes, and your website has appointments that we set up for pottery class, cooking class, yoga, guitar lessons, sailing class, basically anything I'm guessing you might want to make here. Someone can choose that for an individual class, but what if they want a group class and all the group classes are over? Maybe you're just at the end of your season and you want to extend the classes offered. Well, to set up a new class, all you do is bring it in again, pop back to the main menu, click on scheduling, which we're going to have entirely. We're going to have a full scheduling website. Then come on down to appointment types, scroll down to your classes, edit the class, click offer it, and all you do is choose from the calendar a date in the future. So we're at the end of July here, and I'm going to grab a August date for a week from now. Choose the time. Squarespace will format everything for you and save it. And now when someone's on your site and they're clicking around to book a class, they'll see that you're offering a new class. Awesome. They can get another shot at taking your classes. And honestly, I'd rather be taking your class on yoga at this amazing, bright oceanside studio than sitting in my bedroom recording and talking to myself. But to finish our tour, let's click sign up, and I'll show you how it would look to your new customers. They're going to click sign up, pop in their name, Chris Berry, a phone number, and an email, and then click pay now. This will go right through Stripe, which we'll set up today, so you can collect anything from debit cards to any of the popular credit cards out there, or you can do pay on site or pay a deposit portion in advance. And you can also use PayPal or Square. I just tend to like Stripe because it seems to be the most dominant payment processor. So that's how it works, guys. I hope you like the website you see right here. And all these skills that we're going to learn today, from the full screen video to the images to the text, parallax image to the slider gallery, will all translate to other templates that you might want to work on with Squarespace. So basically, you're going to get keys to the castle when it comes to Squarespace skills for beginners. And it's not just beginners, because by the time you finish this video, which I hope you will, I know not everyone does, but I hope you will, you'll have the skills of an advanced Squarespace designer or developer, whatever you want to call it. Okay guys, so without further ado, why don't I tell you how the whole process works here, how this website came to be, and then what you're going to do to get your own website live for the world and working so that you actually know how to make a website with Squarespace that books appointment classes. Let's pop open our little notepad to do that here. We'll keep our website on in the background for fun. And we're going to pull this note over Grumpy Pirate. Sorry, Grumpy Pirate. Okay, so how this works, basically, how this all works. Super simple. Bring it up a little bit. Okay, basically, Greg makes the website in advance, ahead of time. Takes about 1 week for me to design these whole websites. Basically, it's a combination of picking a Squarespace template here, and the one we're going to use, which you'll see very shortly, is called Colima. I don't know if we saw it quite yet, but you will. And I'll use the template in a combination with videos and images I find for our purposes and ones that I create on my own to basically design the whole website. I'll get the color schemes, the buttons, the textures, all the quotes, everything lined up, and I give you a little packet of content, which will be linked from the description if you want to use all the exact images and fonts, styles, and designs that we use today. So that takes about a week to design and build the whole website. Obviously, I want to give you a finished product, or at least something that looks like a finished product. I don't actually know this guy, but that way you can leave the video with an actual website and not have something that's just a white screen or a white screen with a couple images scattered. You don't want that. You want a finished product, and I build it for you in advance ahead of time. Of course, figuring out all the scheduling stuff was tricky, but we had to have that all nailed down to the bolts so that your bookings work. People get emails when they sign up, and you get scheduling confirmations on your schedule. All that's included. So all that takes me about a week, and as I'm building it, I'll record it when it works. So basically we have the best of it. So basically imagine if someone was building a house and talking you through it as they built it and filming it. And then once it's done, we jump back in time to before it was built, and we say, hey, let's build a house or let's build a website, and then walk through all the real steps, including the troubleshooting, the times when we were lost or needed to fix something or find a different resource to get the job done, and all those little roadblocks and moments of pain along our journey that we overcame are covered in the video too, because it's really never as easy as it looks, but I want you to have the skills to fix all sorts of stuff on your own and feel good about it. So I film it all, and then obviously everything's done right now, and you are at the start of the tutorial, and my name's not Git, it's Greg. And then so step 2 is just you make it with my help. Cool. So I'm here in the comments. If you're watching the video, you can just pause it or go back, post a comment, and I'll try to get back to you the same day with tips and fixes, or just to explain one part a little bit more if it didn't make sense. No question stupid. And from my experience helping over 100,000 people make a website successfully with a variety of website softwares, it helps so much to get answers right away. And that's what makes us different from the other bigger website tutorial programs. We offer that personal help right away. Okay, cool. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope you're excited to make it, because Greg already put the time in. All right. So that's how it works in terms of our steps for you today, guys. So steps 2, actually create the site. It's super easy, and here they are. So the first thing is going to be to visit Squarespace, and I have a link for you, which is gregnarayan.com/Squarespace, and a coupon, which is GregNarayan10. Use that link right before you pick your template, and use that coupon at checkout when we're actually going to make our scheduling website or your e-commerce site or your basic website go live with a domain name, and that'll get you an awesome discount. And I always make sure that that discount is the best one offered on the Squarespace site, because we want to save the most money possible. Times are tough now with inflation. We got to save. So yeah, use this coupon and enjoy it and save that money. All right, once you visit Squarespace, you're going to start off by choosing a fresh website template. Like I said before, it's basically like looking at your favorite websites and being like, I want that one, and then making it real. Once you choose a template, we are going to design. It's all drag and drop with Squarespace, and that means everything from your images, videos, text, you name it, etc., etc. You're going to get all that live, and great. You're going to learn how to make a website in general. Of course, at some point along the line, and I think we're going to do it quicker than you might think in the video, just to get the hard stuff out of the way. We're going to set up the appointment/class booking feature so people can browse your classes, choose them, and go ahead and actually book them and reserve a spot so other people can't take that spot. You'll get an email that someone booked, and you can contact your customers and clients to make sure everything's right. But in any case, that'll make sure they're locked in and actually come join you. And then once everything is set up and looking fresh and working, we are going to, at the end, choose the Squarespace plan, which is just called a scheduling plan. And we're going to get our domain name shortly after. And basically how the most common Squarespace free trial works, which is pretty genius, is they let you use almost all of the website features for 2 weeks, exactly 14 days. So you can go ahead and like mess around and go ahead and click things, build, drag and drop images, actually make a site, of course, on one of these subdomain names like this one right here. And then as that 14 days ends, you'll be asked to actually subscribe to Squarespace and pay a little bit, and then you get your website. Now, Squarespace claims with the free trials that like everything's included in the free trials for 14 days, but I found that some features are locked. You can't set them up on your website. including some important booking appointment features and some design features that you might stumble upon or want to get going with right away. So I actually just recommend going ahead and subscribing to Squarespace right away. Start this tutorial, build a little bit, and then from your website panel over here, just bring it in and go back to the main menu on the hamburger in the upper left. Click on scheduling and then just follow the steps to actually get yourself a scheduling plan, because then you can see all this cool stuff and have all these cool links here on the left. And you won't build with any limitations. You'll have it all. And when people talk about Squarespace holding them back or not offering a feature or complaining about anything, you'll be like, what are you talking about? It all works great for me. So that's what I recommend doing. And of course, it's up to you if you'd rather just go the full 13 days and 23 hours, for example, and then get your Squarespace plan locked up once your website's done and then just pay for it at that point. That's fine too. Just make sure you don't forget to do it. 2 weeks is a long time, but can go pretty quick these days, right? Okay, so then the 6th step at the end, which I don't really like. I'd rather just have a clean 5 steps here. So let's just put that right here, is launch your website to the world. Wordles. And then once you do that, I'm here to help you market the site. You can always ask in the comments, because we've not only talked the talk, but walked the walk with real blogs, real client sites, and a lot of demo sites on YouTube. We've helped people get out there, and I'm here to help you get your website looking perfect and spread it to your community. So the idea here is, of course, not just to give you a lame cookie cutter website and not just to teach you a few things, but to give you all the things so you have a complete finished product that you can leave confidently with and go out and actually use in the website world. If that sounds like something you want to do today, guys, and you're ready to get started, I'm ready too, and I'm so honored to be your instructor, because I know you could spend your evening or your morning doing a million different things, and all we ask here is a couple hours time to create an appointment booking website for your classes and your expertise that can potentially change the course of your lives. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close all these tabs here, and we're not going to see this site until you actually finish making it at the end. I know it's kind of sad, but that's the goal, and we have to push ourselves. We don't just get something beautiful and awesome right away. Like the video if you dig what you see so far, and let's jump right in. In any case, guys, we're going to start with just a blank Google page, and we're going to visit Squarespace and start building. I'll see you right there. Alright folks, so the first thing we want to do to get started is open up our Googles. I'm using Google Chrome here because I find it the best for web design, building websites, and just adding different features. They have cool extensions like the Clear Browser Cache extension to make sure your website shows all the right updated photos and stuff. The list goes on and on, but I use Chrome. If you want to use Safari or Firefox or something like that, it should work fine, but Chrome's free, so I would try downloading it so you can follow along to a T. First step, now that we got that taken care of, is going to be just to visit gregnarayan.com/Squarespace. And that will take you to our custom landing page made for you guys on YouTube. And it'll also give me a little credit at zero cost to you just for sending you to Squarespace. And that's how I can afford it to keep making these videos and keep them free for you guys. So it just helps pay the bills and doesn't make me much, but it's enough, and I really appreciate it. If you can go ahead through the link, thanks so much if you do so. Or if you'd rather not, you can just visit squarespace.com and it's the exact same thing. Okay, cool. So here we are at Squarespace. And you got a lot going on here. But we're going to learn all about it from what I tell you here and through our own experience, so you don't really need to read all their promotional stuff. All we need to do is click on Get Started, or you could click on Templates, and those will do the same thing. So I usually like just going with Get Started. All right, and here we are in Templates. So, because we're going to make a scheduling website for your local business, it's super easy. We're going to click on Scheduling for Type. And of course, there are all sorts of types of website you can make with Squarespace, and I hope we cover all of them. For now, though, we're going to focus on scheduling, and we're going to grab local business. Because you're a local business, you're selling something, and you need to get people signed up. So, scheduling local business, and now it's going to give us the best template matches here. Cool. So, we have Lori, that'd be for a wedding. Irving, looks like a fitness concept. Emmeline, super cool, that might be like hairstyle. And then the one we're going to use here is called Colima.
And I love it. We like the Mexican restaurant called Colita. So Colima just makes sense. And what's better than yoga with a view, honestly. So if you want to go further down, you might find some that eventually fit your concept a little bit less. Like here's a coaching one. So, it's not really a local business. Doesn't need to be. You could be doing it from home. And, the further you go, you might find ones you love, or you might find things that just become more like e-commerce or even blogs or something. So up at the top is where you're going to find the best templates. All right, and here we have Kalima. And to go ahead and get your template, once you browse around enough and you're satisfied, we're going to go ahead and click Preview. Okay, cool. And you could just click Start With, but I like Preview because it gives us this little smaller window where we can check it out by clicking View Demo Site. And here is what our website's going to look like. So as you can see, it looks a lot like what we saw in the introduction. Let's go ahead and start with this design back here on our Squarespace page. All right, after it sets things up, we're going to be able to go ahead and configure our website. So the first thing we want to do is give it a title. Creating a beautiful site is the best way to bring your idea to life. Here are a few things to get started. Okay, cool. So the title can be changed later on in settings, but we have an idea right now, and I'm sure you do too. So let's go ahead and just start knocking off the different website tasks, like a title. And even though I'm really tempted to make another yoga website, we already made one using YouTube and WordPress for everyone out here. And I want to keep this website open to whether it's a local business for something like pottery or cooking classes or any sort of clothing stuff like tailoring, anything you want to teach, or even yoga. So we're just going to go with a more generic title and call this one Local Business and continue. All right. So we can edit pages to add, edit, or remove text or images. Use edit, which we'll do. Click next. Create pages. Yep, we can do that in the pages panel, which we'll do. And style your site. So when you see the paintbrush icon, it'll control the site's look and feel. You can customize with fonts and color themes, which we'll do. All right, and here is your new website. And because we're using Squarespace, you get a link to your site right away. You can go ahead and share it with the world, but it looks a little different than a normal .com would. Just gonna close that assistant there and show you what I mean. If we click on the arrow, it should take us right to our live site. And it's live because we're on a subdomain. So Squarespace sets up this kind of cute and clever link, which will look different for you. Mine says parakeet coppersdmc.squarespace.com. And it's a subdomain because it is a set of unique words on the squarespace.com site. It is sub, meaning like under or behind, and stored under squarespace.com. So you get your own link and you can share it with your friends or your business partners and be like, hey, look what we made. But the part of getting your own .com, gregnarayan.com, that comes later in the tutorial. And once we build our site at Squarespace, we'll go ahead and lock up and get your unique .com or .org or .net, whatever you like. That's just how it works. Building first, then .com later. But it's super nice that we have this link already just from the get-go. Okay, so we can go back to the edit area, and now we can go ahead and start building. So for the sake of the tutorial, I've given you guys a content packet with all sorts of images and different things we're going to put on the site. If you want to use this video like a complete web design course with Squarespace to make a website, then that packet will serve as your content to build with. And it's just demo content that I've put together from my own, adventures. So if you want to do that, that's fine. Or if you want to just follow along and you have your own images, etc., on your desktop to upload right now, that's perfect too. So the very first part of our website I want to edit, because I know a lot of you guys might just want to get things working, and I love getting things working right out of the gates, is going to be our booking feature on the site. How do we get to the booking feature? Well, why don't we click on the links on the site and it'll actually take us there. All right. And we're going to come down to choose appointment, and let's click on this little exclamation mark and we'll see what it needs us to do. So it says connect to scheduling. To use this block, they're called in Squarespace blocks, start a scheduling trial or connect an existing account. All right, so you don't have an existing account, I'm assuming, so we're going to want to start a scheduling trial and start fresh. All right, guys, so here's the Squarespace scheduling portal. All you need to do is show up at the right time, and we're here at the right time to get started. So it's powered by Acuity, online assistant. It's going to help you fill your schedule. They'll have amazing support for you at Squarespace, and of course, there's a refund policy if for whatever reason Squarespace scheduling doesn't work for you. But I'm confident you're going to be happy. So let's start our 14-day trial. And what it comes out to is choose a plan with prices starting at $15 a month. And we can use this start 14-day trial link right here, or click try it now. It's the same thing. Try it for 14 blissful days. So 2 weeks is a long time. You can really see if you're getting clients. Hope you get a couple. And then after that, you can choose to upgrade to a paid plan. And then hopefully the business you're bringing in will more than cover the affordable cost at Squarespace. So let's start our 14-day trial. All right, business name. So we're just called local business, but yours will of course be more explanatory of what you do. And for our industry, you can choose a variety of categories. Squarespace will have the scheduling assistant that will be tailored for whatever it is you're trying to get people to sign up for. And in our case, we could choose any of them. We could make a yoga website, a wellness website. I know I'm going to want to have some things related to yoga, pottery, a little bit of coaching, stuff like that. So I'm going to go with wellness because all of that is really related to being well. All right, and we're going to click next. Okay, cool. So these are the times when people are able to book their appointments with you. And we're going to go ahead and check all of them because I believe in putting in a little bit of work every day of the week. And then where it says availability is required, we have to, for example, write in something like 9 a.m. to noon, 2 to 3 p.m. or something like that. And if you're available the same hours every day, you can just go ahead and copy paste it in. But in our case, I think for the weekdays, like 9 to 5 would be great. But for the weekend, maybe you're going to want to do brunch with your friends in the morning, maybe take some time for yourself. So something more like an afternoon schedule might be the best. So let's just go with like noon to 4 p.m. Really casual for Sundays. And then we can get back to 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I think however you write it in, it will adjust the formatting. Great, and we're good. Okay, and next. Okay, so we can do appointments and or classes. These are the types of services that clients can book with you. And I'm going to choose both because we can go ahead and remove one later if, for example, you only want to do by appointment. And next. All right, and we're not going to pay anything here. People are going to be paying us, but we do want to connect the payment options. So that's what we have to do right now. So let's connect them. And it should be as simple as just entering an email. So payment settings, we're going to go with dollar, but if you're abroad, go ahead and pop in the currency that works best for you. You can just choose from the list on the left over here. And as you can see, Squarespace is very international friendly. You can even do like, well, pretty much any currency. So really cool. And let's go back. From this screen right here, we're going to choose where we're selling our services. And in your case, it's definitely going to be my own website. And we can do in person also if you collect payments in person. And if you want to go with the social media options, then maybe you'll link your Instagram, for example, or your TikTok. That's awesome. Then people can get to your appointment booking site from there. And we'll click next. All right, we're just going to breeze through a couple steps here. We really just want to do services and appointments at the moment, although you can add more later. And next. We're going to go with 10 to 25 products. Looks good. Give ourselves flexibility later. And here we can add products for the store. But I'm just going to close the screen. And where we want to get to, guys, is just back to the scheduling area. So I'm going to go back to our original link here we clicked. And we're going to hover on the exclamation mark again and go to the scheduling trial once again. So if for whatever reason, guys, you didn't keep this link open here where we originally got to the scheduling portal at Squarespace with the scheduling trial link, then you can just go ahead and open a new tab in your browser and type in yoursubdomain.com/config/scheduling. And doing that will take you right to this page where we're going to proceed with setting up our booking system. Okay, so We've done the setup availability. We've done create appointment types. Great job so far, by the way. Now we need to add scheduling to our site. So down below, we can see that Jane McTest has this demo consultation. And what we're looking at here is a calendar that's for your purposes. You can drag this to different time slots, and that way people will be able to see that one slot is booked, and you'll be able to see that you got some work coming up. And I hope it's fun work. So once we drag something, if you're just messing around with the schedule on your own and setting up your week, it's going to say, are you sure you want to reschedule Jane McTest? And we can say, yes, reschedule the appointment. Although it's in the past, probably don't want to do that. But in any case, that will move something and you can manage your schedule to your heart's content. Okay, there's a lot of labels, and as you get familiar with Squarespace scheduling, it'll all make sense. I personally find it way more user-friendly than even the Apple iPhone scheduler, so I think you're going to love it. You can do everything from remind yourself of the price that you charge to mark it as paid. You can put in notes, which is just super fun, like, this client loved this one particular technique, etc., etc. Okay, let's go back to our calendar here just by clicking on the calendar. And great, this is all yours. It's all going to be saved. And when you upgrade to an official Squarespace membership, then you'll really be cruising because you can look at this every day, even outside of our free trial. All right, so what we're going to do now, guys, is, and of course, you can also click new up here and go ahead and edit in your own appointments. And you can use this for like your own life as well as your business life if you like. Super cool. Okay. And of course, when your clients schedule appointments, they will automatically populate. Now that we've learned a little bit about the calendar, why don't we add scheduling to your website? All right, let's click on that. And we have the client scheduler. So we have direct links and embedding. We're going to go with the generic scheduling page. Very good. And we can see that Squarespace sets us up with this awesome client scheduling page, which someone will click on, and then they'll go to this other website hosted at Squarespace, put in their choices and their payment and stuff, and then they can also go back to your site. So it's kind of Squarespace doing it on a part of their website, which looks professional. That way you don't have to like custom code any calendars or scheduling on your site. Works really good. So, all right, we're going to copy this link for generic scheduling. And of course, you can change the link name by writing in like your own different custom link, but we can't do that yet because we haven't paid for domain names yet. So we'll just copy the generic link. And if you're curious, you can do like direct links, booking button. You can make another button on Squarespace and paste this in. Booking bar. I think that might go at the top of your website. And yeah, other sorts of features. I'm not sure how client app and embed other work, but as you can see, you will get a QR code if that's something you want to put on a brochure, on a business card or something, and someone can get right to your booking. So that would be how that works. Super cool. All right, guys. So with our generic link now, let's scroll up. Let's make sure we copied it. Yeah, I just can't figure out how to set up Squarespace scheduling. I'm trying to make this website. It's pretty cool, right? What's better than that, right?
I love it.
Can you
Is this
imagine,
for your agency? Now that you're into yoga, it's so
video.
funny. Like before you didn't know what you were talking about, but now you're just like, oh, I see those people all the time.
I was like, oh.
Like that was me yesterday.
That's like
It was you.
reverse
It was
revolve
you.
or something. Or what is that, triangle? All right, guys, back to editing here. We're going to set up some appointment types, like different appointment types that people can book from you. As Squarespace says, appointment types are the services you offer in scheduling. So that's just the term they like using. You can use appointment types for one client services, like a pottery class or a guitar lesson, and you can use them for classes. So appointment types are really the bread and butter of our booking website for a local business. They are appointments, essentially. All right, and they're going to be a lot more fun. It's not like a doctor's appointment. So yeah, another day, more editing. Got my sailboat hat here from Vero Beach, Florida. Feeling all cool, and let's jump in. So first thing we want to do to get an appointment type up and running is going to be to go to our scheduler over here. All right, so if you can't get here anymore, if you got logged out, go to config/scheduling up top. All right, and that will take you right back here. Cool. Now on the left, we're going to scroll down, and it's hard to see if you're on a smaller laptop screen like my MacBook Air here, and we're going to click on appointment types. Great. And it says we already created them, but really what we had created was that demo appointment type by that person who was like just a demo, like a fake person in Squarespace. So we have to make a few more. Okay, so let's click on a new type of service, that button right here. All right, and we're gonna just go ahead and be super simple so you guys can follow along with your types of classes. So we have a pottery class, and we're just gonna sort of go with what we feel is reasonable. We can create a new category. I'm gonna do arts and save it. And then a picture is essential because that'll show people what they can make, and sometimes just seeing a picture of the end result is enough to get people to sign up to your class. Believe me, without the picture, your conversions will go down dramatically. And with a good picture, your conversions and your signups will go up dramatically. So I have a picture, and you can use our photos from this course linked in the description beneath the video. I'm gonna grab my pottery class photo, and I like this one just because it's laid back and things in the picture don't look perfect. It's kind of a mess, which, you know, makes it encouraging. It should be a mess when you're learning something. Okay, so we'll see that photo in a second. We're gonna make this public and create appointment type. Voila, successfully saved. All right, so there's our pottery class, and we should edit it one more time. It's not 2 minutes, it's gonna be 120 minutes for 2 hours, and update. Super simple. Great, guys. Okay, so now let's add a new type of service, and we're going to go through, and I'm going to go over the top and add 5 different types of services and try to guess what sort of local business scheduling website you might want to make. So let me know if I get them right, if I nail it with the service you're trying to create, and if not, just post in the comments and we can talk about how to create a new type of local business service for the website. Okay, so we have 5 appointment types successfully saved for the categories of arts, cooking, health, music, and outdoor activities. And I hope I guessed what you want to sell here. That'd be awesome, because then it'll just feel like you're making the exact website you want to make right now, and that's the goal. You can also do add-ons to your appointment types and coupons for discounts, which is pretty fun. Maybe we'll set one of these up at the end of the tutorial today. Let's go back to scheduling. So we still have that one demo scheduling, but now if we go back to our website here in the editor and we refresh, it should say something different because we have appointment types. And if it doesn't, that's fine. And now we'll go back to our scheduling area. Okay, and clearly we have several appointment types. So what happens if we X out of this red message? Not much, eh? Well, maybe we should click on add scheduling to your website again and grab the link to our general scheduling page right here. And let's try to manually put that onto our website. So we can go back here and edit. And let's see what's going on over here in the scheduling section. If we edit the section, all right, we can see it's just a scheduling section. And why don't we try to add a section? So add a section will give us all the available sections. And we want appointments. And we want to book an appointment, but you could do the book appointment where the text is above, or the book appointment where the text is floating to the left, or other versions, as you can see right here. Workshop, class pack, etc. So what I'm feeling is the book an appointment with the text above and centered. Beautiful. All right, now let's try to just go to done and save. Cool. And now let's go and see how our site looks live and refresh it. So Squarespace is going to give us this default appointment area. And we want to edit that. Let's edit. And come down to our scheduling box. Edit it. So we can see what Squarespace has in here for us. And it's going to be the Squarespace example as me scheduling.php, which is of course not our general scheduling page that we created over here. So why don't we copy our general scheduling page? Or maybe you could do like the direct link or something like that. But in our case, we're going to do the general scheduling page and delete what Squarespace has right here and just paste over it. And now let's see what happens. Awesome. So now we have our real appointments listed below. Okay, and let's go to done and save and zoom out. And now someone can actually click on, for example, our pottery class, choose a day, like Friday, and we're open for work from 9 to 5, as we said. Not sure why it's just 9 to 3 right here, but we'll have to look into that. They could choose a time slot, like I want to make some pots at 12, add a time and continue. And now someone will enter in their first and last name, their phone, and their email address, and we're just going to walk through what happens when your new customer completes appointment. All right, so they would see this confirmation right here. It's going to be $40, and later in the tutorial, we'll set up exactly how you receive that payment. But for now, at least people can book something. So progress made, great job. Let's go back to book a class now, and let's see what else is going on here. So someone on the confirmation page can go back to choose appointment if they want to book another class. All right, all of our images are looking good. And of course, we're going to need to change up the text here because we don't have any classes yet, although we will, and put up an image to showcase what we're doing to get people excited enough to book something. All right, so now that we've set up several types of appointments for your customers to choose from, why don't we add classes? Because after all, this link in our button says book a class. So we can go back to our appointment types right here in the scheduling and click new type of group class. All right, so this is just going to be like a 20-person yoga studio. And we're going to do soul class because soul is my favorite type of yoga. Okay, so it's going to go for 60 minutes. Price is whatever you choose. Perfect. Category is going to be health. And for picture, why don't we try a yoga class with a great view? Perfect. That looks like a class that we'd all like to attend. And we'll upload the file. Public and classic group event. Max number of people. So we're going to go with the number we set up top, although you don't really have to write in that number right there. And the last box says clients must sign up for all the times this is offered. And that would be if you have like a package and they have to sign up for 4 or 5 classes where it's offered. But in our case, we don't want to rope people in. People obviously like flexibility to cancel or just not show up. So create appointment type. Right, so now let's see what we made. We're going to refresh our book a class page. Going to take us back to the editor. We'll click to zoom out. All right, no worries. Took us to the home page. Sometimes if you leave your site up for a while and go grab a bite to eat or something, it'll just go back to your home page. And now we have the appointment. So because we've inserted appointments here, it doesn't show our classes. But if we zoom in again, we can go ahead and edit the page. And we have to manually add a class block. So why don't we add a block? We can try that out. See what happens. And let's try a simple code block. Cool. There's a little code block over there. So it's just going to float. And if you wanted to put in the classes there, then you can go to add scheduling to your website. And now instead of the general scheduling page, we're going to grab all classes. So we can see once you do that, it will change the link that Squarespace generates for you. We just need to copy the all classes option, which will show our one class. And now back in Squarespace, we can add a section. And let's go with a blank section, just totally blank. So here it is. Now within the section, we can edit it. And it shows there's a bunch of rows, too many rows for us. Now we can add a block and go for, how about some embed? Cool. And then in embed, we can grab our embed option for all classes. Let's just copy that and see what happens. And now in embed, make sure you hit this embed data button and we can paste in what we got from our scheduler. And it will show up perfectly. Great. So just another way to add the Squarespace booking to a website page. Now it's not that good because it says no upcoming classes are available. So why don't we hover on done and save, and then let's change that. So back here in our appointment types, our classes down here are still not available. Why is that? Well, if we hover on not available, it says this class isn't being offered yet. Click edit to fix. So let's edit. And we really just need to offer the class. So we can click offer class. And it's going to ask for the time, of course. So it's going to be offered on a bunch of dates. So this one's going to be offered on a date in the future. So July 4th is already passed. So why don't we go with like 2 weeks out on the 28th to give us time to prepare. That's going to be offered at 9 a.m. And save it. Great. So now when we refresh our page here, or zoom out rather, and refresh it. So now when we go back to our book a class page, we will have booking here, and it shows the date. So 2 weeks out from today, Thursday, July 28th, someone can easily sign up for a health 20-person yoga studio soul class for $50 at 9 a.m. and for 1 hour. And of course, the sign up feature will work great. It's all streamlined, very professional, and very fast to get people into your classes. All right, cool. So you'll notice that, for example, our categories are displaying with the lowercase, and we want everything to look uppercase. So to change the styling on your appointments or your class builder, we're going to go back to the scheduling tab here, then go back to scheduling, and now we can scroll down to appointment types. From here, we can just click on the categories and make them capitalized. We'll fix one typo there and save all of them. And make sure to save each category as you edit it, because if you save one of them below and don't save the ones above, then the ones above it won't save. While we're here, we might as well also delete the demo appointment types, which is just first appointment type. So we can edit that, and then to delete it, go to the bottom, delete appointment type. And we're going to delete our demo class. So down here, first class type, edit it, scroll down, and delete appointment type. Perfect. Now, if you don't see our class on this appointments page, it's actually here. You just have to look a little closer, because under the category of health, we have yoga 1 hour appointment, which is the private one, and we have the 20-person yoga studio soul class, which is the group class. So the categories are where both the appointments and the classes will be located. Next, I want to help you guys receive online payments for your bookings, which means connecting Stripe, Square, and PayPal to receive payments online for your local business booking site. And we're going to do that now because we've already set up our book a class page for the appointments, the individual appointments, and the classes down here. And we're going to move these different modules around so there's not white space and they are in a place that makes sense for people to see them and actually book them. But for now, let's get that payment thing working in case you want to book some classes right away and you're in a hurry. So in scheduling appointment types in this box down here, we're going to hit connect. All right, it says manage the way you receive payments in person and online. We're going to dismiss that error right there and put in a currency. Let's click edit. And US dollars is what we want because we are based in the States, Minnesota, and New York. Okay, we'll go back to payments now. Connected payment processor. All right, all of them are thankfully free to set up. I know sometimes in other website softwares or website hosting services like Wix or WordPress, you have to pay a little bit to use Stripe or PayPal. In this case, you do not. And they take about 5 minutes to connect. So why don't we go ahead right away with Stripe, because that's the first one on the list. Click connect. All right, and then all you need is just your Stripe account, which is based on your email. So pretty cool. I, of course, don't have Stripe right now, but I do use PayPal for all of our other e-commerce websites. So we're going to connect that one to get started. It says you can't connect a PayPal account while in trial mode. All right, so we'd have to upgrade to a paid account to get that working, which is okay because I'm assuming most of you guys are eventually going to upgrade to a paid account. So you actually own the website and have a real business that's operating online, not just a trial business. And it's really affordable. And later in the tutorial, we'll see how to upgrade to a paid account and get a discount as well. And then you can just pop in your PayPal email. Let's see if we can do Square. And for that one, we also need a paid account. Okay, bummer. But we can do Stripe. So what I'm going to have to do is get Stripe going with my own email. Let's go to sign up for Stripe in our Googles. And let's sign up and create a Stripe account. Okay, so I'm gonna go through these steps really quickly, and I use Stripe a lot when I'm shopping online. You just see that button more and more, don't you, on different websites. And basically, Stripe is a middleman which connects you to credit cards and helps you pay and collect payments too, in our case. Okay, just pop in a basic password there and click create account. It looks like we may have already had one, so why don't we try and sign in? And we're gonna go through the forgot your password steps. All right, reset password here. All right, okay, glad that we have Stripe working again. If you wanna make something like a food truck business or any sort of business in real life, this is super good. If you wanna sell smoothies online, if you wanna sell clothing, Stripe is definitely becoming the number one, and that's why they're at the top of the list in Squarespace. So let's continue to our dashboard. Don't think we'll have too much money here, although it's always nice if we do find some, right? Graphs are going up though. Okay, and I think we might need some of our info here. So let's go back to Squarespace and see what's needed. Here we are on our connected processor. Connect Stripe. Okay, we're gonna secure our account with the mobile number because I guess we are already signed in. Just got the text. All right, our account is secured. They want us now to write this emergency backup code and store it somewhere safe if our device is stolen. So we'll just copy that, and I'm gonna put that in a blank notepad. All right, it's taken its little 5-minute time here to connect Stripe to our Squarespace local business website. Okay, and if Stripe is just kind of pinwheeling in circles, making it take too long for you, we can refresh the page. Now let's try to connect one more time. Okay, and now it's ready to go, and we'll click connect. All right, we're registered in the United States, individual business, that's great. Or you might be a company, of course, and then continue. All right, we're gonna pop in our basic information here to verify our personal details. All right, all 100% secure with Squarespace and Stripe, and continue. All right, guys, we're gonna need a business website here. But because we haven't bought our domain yet from Squarespace, you can just enter in, for example, your Facebook page. And continue. All right, next we need to add your bank to receive our payouts. So go ahead and choose from this list, or if you don't see your bank, you can go ahead and search it like that. All right, should have a large list of your banks here so you can healthily collect your payments and on time. And ours is Wells Fargo at the moment. We're gonna link it with Stripe. Data is encrypted and you can disconnect your accounts at any time. So we'll agree to those terms and continue. All right, and continue with additional verification. We'll do a little code here, just get that code. And another 6-digit code successfully entered. We'll hit submit. All right, and we don't really need to do like all of them actually. For example, I don't need to connect my credit card, and I really just want those checking accounts where the money's gonna go. So keep those checked, and we can give our profile information to and continue. All right, we're just gonna accept, super standard, and click connect. And we should be done, and you can now start to receive payments from your clients and all your appointments that you're gonna get. Success. Okay, now we're done. Great job. We can now collect payments. And back here in Squarespace, just gonna check the accounts we linked again, and actually now it's just one of them where we can receive payments to because we're not gonna get double payments or something. So I'm gonna go with just my business checking account and continue. And now we can seamlessly receive payouts like they said. All right, and the descriptor here, so it thinks that Facebook was our website because we entered in our Facebook website before, but we're just gonna say this is from local business, and yours will be your business title. All right, cool. And we could be a little more descriptive, like Squarespace, local business. Oh, doesn't let us go all the way. So we're just going to write in local business because that's what we're calling our site, because this will apply to any local business you want to create where you collect payments and book appointments, but yours will be your name there instead, and it'll show when you get paid by your business. Pretty cool. All right, and then short description, don't need that. All right, and we have a customer support line, which is just our number. It wants the shortened description too, so we're going to go with just appointment/class, which people will be booking through our website, and now continue. All right, option here to show customers your climate commitment, and we're going to go ahead and assume that Squarespace has that taken care of, and we really appreciate that they're doing that. So in our case, we're not going to go with sending any revenue over there yet because we need to keep all of our revenue and reinvest it into what we do. We'll do not right now, but totally up to you. All right, and here's our info and our public details, and submit. Got one little error here. I'm not sure what this means. External authorization callback. Let's try to reload it. So let's just reload it, and that's not working. So let's clear it. Okay, I don't know what happened there. And we can't do much from this screen, so let's just X out. And there really was no error. We just had to click connect one more time. And now customers can pay with all major credit cards, Apple Pay, and Afterpay ClearPay to you. All right, we're connected. We could disconnect Stripe, but why would we do that? And yeah, this option, I'm not sure what Afterpay is all about, so we'll stick with our credit cards. And go back to payments. And now Stripe is officially connected. Yay. Great job. All right, you guys, so next up on our list is going to be to design our website from top to bottom like any professional web designer would that you would hire in your town. Well, Squarespace made a really nice template for us with cool images and font and links. We want to, of course, put our own image in here and make a logo and put in our own fonts and maybe make things a little bigger or smaller or have different textures here and there. So let's get started, and the first thing we're going to change is this hero image at the top right here. It's a hero image, it's a cover image. It looks like an awesome yoga setting, but we're going to actually put in our own image or a video. So to change that, let's zoom in with the Squarespace arrow and then click edit. Cool, and now we have the section that Squarespace has made for us. And the section is going to be highlighted by this blue border. So that's how you know you're in a section, and within a section you could add a block. If you click that, it's just going to add a block wherever we've put it. So this was our new block. That's where it wanted to go. I'm going to hit Command Z to get rid of it, and you can always go ahead and drag the widths, for example, to move different blocks. Like here's our block. We can move it, basically just float it in a different place on the hero image. And we can see Squarespace gives us this grid behind it, which is kind of like how a computer has 1,000 or 100,000 or 1,000,000 different little holes, and each one has a light coming out of it, and that's what creates our visual display. In this case, our website display is dictated by this little grid, and that's how you can move different blocks. Pretty cool. Okay, so to change our image, we're gonna hover on the section and get our edit pencil icon right here. Click on that. All right, and we can see there's some stuff like a row count. There's not 10 rows, and we are not zoomed in right now, but you could zoom in if you like. All right, and then there's some different features like gap. What does that do? Well, that will basically make it so there's more space or less space above the image. And then there's the option to fill the screen. So if your image is not the right size to fill the screen, you can auto fill the screen by checking that box, which I love doing. And then there's height, which will change how much of your image is displayed. So we can see some of the image is going away up top or coming into the picture. And the 3 dots will give you a wider view. And then alignment is just going to be more of the same sort of movement. Cool, so now that we've covered our format screen, let's go to background. And that's where the fun begins because we have image, video, and art. All right. Now you can put in a video, which is 1 minute max, and our video storage is 30 minutes left. So our plan includes 30 minutes of free uploaded video storage. That means when we want to put in a video, we're going to need to actually probably edit it on our computer so that it gets to the right limit, which is only a minute. You're going to want to take the time to use your, hopefully, smartphone and go out and record some content of you doing pottery classes or sailing classes or yoga classes or whatever. But in our case, because this is an educational tutorial, it's just a resource, we can actually use our ScreenFlow editor, which I'm in right now, to record a demo video from YouTube, and then I'll show you how to upload it right here. So I'm going to stop this recording and go record a little segment from one of my favorite videos, and then we're going to put it up as a demo. So, stop record. Okay, so here we recorded a video from one of my friend's YouTube videos, and we have produced it in ScreenFlow, and we can now go back to our website and upload it and see how it works. So now let's click plus add a video, upload file, and this went to my desktop, and you need an MP4 or a .mov file. Let's try to open it, and it looks like it's gonna work. Not to worry, it's a video about Bali, but our website generally has the theme of wellness, yoga, pottery, being on the water, so I figured something about beaches and clubs and palm trees and travel would work just fine for our purposes and to show you how to put up a beautiful, elegant video. So it'll take its time, and if the video doesn't upload right away, just click edit section again and background, and let's try one more time. And if your video doesn't upload right away, then try to just click done and save the changes, and go ahead and refresh the page we're working on. We can also close out some other tabs just to make sure that our website is the focus here and it gets all the resources of the internet. All right, let's click edit one more time, and in our section, edit section, background, add a video. Beautiful, guys. Now our video has uploaded and it is playing automatically. It just took a few extra seconds to fully upload. We can see because we only have a 47-second video, it'll play through the whole thing. And if you want to try a longer video, or if the upload part just doesn't work for you because internet's slow or computer issues, then you can always just use the YouTube option, which is in there when you click on video. In our case, we're good here, and we now have a full hero screen video playing. Okay, let's go out of that section, and it's looking good. We need to change up our text though, so we can click on top of this little header where it says taking care of your mind, body, and soul, and I'd rather just have like one line of text here because less reading is usually good for us ADD people these days. And I do like this sentence, but I just want to simplify it to taking care of you. Awesome, and now we're gonna do the subtext here, like a tagline. So it says, familiarize yourself with our studio and course offering by signing up for a complimentary drop-in class below. That's good, but I'm just gonna talk about the actual website we're making here and the tutorial. So I'm gonna say, finally learn, create your own. And you know what, let's make it even more simple and just write one big discover, because we're gonna make this really big eventually for our YouTube thumbnail. All right, and then along with discover, we can continue this sentence. We don't need to look up what complimentary means by saying discover all you can do with your own online class booking website made beautiful and elegant with Squarespace. All right, let's type there. Cool. So now we have our big text and our little text, and we need our link here. And instead of a link, which is just a HTML link, why don't we make that another button? So a link is easy to set up just by highlighting some anchor text and clicking on the link icon, and then you write in whatever the link is and apply it. But we can also put in another button. We can delete that text and now go to our section. Excuse me. We can go to our ad block and search for button. Click button, and then we just need to click on the button and drag it where we want it to go. And it is so easy because the button will automatically attach like a magnet to our Squarespace grid. Okay, so there's one button, and you know what? That was so easy. Why don't we make another button too? So we're going to click outside this text and click Add Block, and button again. Awesome, and there's our button. Believe me guys, more buttons is good. People like clicking on things. So the first button is going to say, let's click on it and click Edit Button, and not Learn More because that's boring. It's going to say our daily canvas, and canvas is our word for the breadth of classes we offer the world. Okay, and design, easy enough. Click on the fill tab, and then for primary button you can change these styles, and we're going to edit button styles for primary button, which is super easy in Squarespace. Okay, we just close it, and now we're on the right over here. You can change the shape to this nice oval option, or maybe just a little bit rounded. So we're just changing the primary button styles for now, and we're going to first change the text from Poppins, which is a good one, to something different so we can browse all fonts. And now it's time to just let your mind wander with fonts, and maybe we will wander to Bebas New. Cool. Or Brandon Grotesque. Cool. Or Brevia, or Cabin, or Kaluna Sands, or Din Condensed, or now I'm just probably annoying you. So let's pick one that we think will look good for the long haul. And I know one good one, guys, to be Open Sands. Okay, once you get your font, just go back. And of course, you don't have to pick Open Sands. And we're going to make it a little more bold. And if you bring up the rem, that'll just make the font size bigger entirely. In our case, I want it a little smaller so it fits across the button. And then you can space the letters more if you want to. So pretty cool. You can also text transform it to all uppercase or lowercase. Also very chill. And for some reason, I think lowercase is kind of nice and unassuming. So we're going to try that. Okay, now let's get out of the text. And we're going to do the shape of a little bit rounded. And for fill, we want the color to be different. And that color will be located somewhere else. So we can hover on the done and click save. All right, now our buttons are looking a little better, but we want to change the color of the buttons. Let's go back to edit and click on our button and edit the button. Design. But it appears, guys, that the button colors are a feature we can change only after you get the premium version of Squarespace and upgrade to having a full website. So I want to take you through all the things we can update for free and change for free. And that way we can make the best website possible. And then at the end, we can actually go ahead and buy the website. And then you can change so much more. So for now, let's go back to edit and click on our other button, edit button. And instead of learn more, we're going to go with meet the teachers. Okay, and cool. And design and primary button. All right. And edit button styles. And I'm pretty sure this is a primary button right here. So we're good on this button style. Hover on done and save it. Okay guys, let's go back to edit one more time. And to change our button links, we're gonna click on the button itself. Great. Edit the button. And by the way, when we're back in this editor window, you can change the button from primary, secondary, tertiary if you have 3 different styles on your site. So to set up the link, we're just gonna edit the button again, and all we really can do here is the text and the link. So those are the 2 most important things. We are gonna grab the classes link right here, but we're in the edit mode, so it won't let us get the link. What you have to do is just copy the link of our subdomain demo site here, put it in a new tab, and that way you can interact with the site and do things like, when we're zoomed out, right click on a link like classes, copy link address, then come back to our editor and paste it in for our link. Cool. Just keep in mind that when we launch our real site, you may have to replace that link with your real domain name so it doesn't show this subdomain name. Okay, that looks good. What does the gear do? Well, that will let you choose to open in a new window or something, but we just want that same window. We don't want someone to have a new tab. All right, good stuff. Let's now click on our other button, edit. And to meet the teachers, that's going to be instructors. So we'll grab that link, come back to our editor, and paste it in. All right, great. And there's no save button here or update button on this little white pop-out. You just click away and then it's done. See, the link is still there. And to save the whole page, we hover on done and click save. Just how it works in Squarespace. All right, so back to edit because our work's not done yet. And for some reason, this button likes to be bigger than the other button. We can change that by giving it the fit quality in design. So this button, we edit it, design needs to fit, perfect. And have run done and save. And it might bug you that it zooms into this Squarespace screen when you save it, but you'll get used to it. It's pretty cool. Okay, great guys. So now we have the top of our website looking good. I just want Discover to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to click on this box again and edit the text. And all we can really do is a little bit of a background there. It's kind of cool. The text area can have its own background. If you want it to be like a little bit of an overlay, that's where you do it. But we're not going to use the background because that just looks too goofy. All I want instead is just to increase the size of this text. And you can do that just by bringing up this editing tab. Now highlight your text. And you can make it bold, for example. Or you can go with a different heading. And the headings will change the size. So that's how you change the text size of your headers or your body text. And of course, later in the video, I'll show you how to manually change the heading size with CSS so you can make this text as big as you want. Hover on done and save.
All right, guys, so I just want to jump back in here in person for this really important step, which is that we need to actually buy our Squarespace plan at some point. When you click site availability, that's where you do it. We'll be able to either upgrade to publish with that black button or click the blue subscribe button below, and they're the same thing. Guys, this is my second Squarespace purchase. The first plan I bought for a different website was just the basic plan for a photography website we made on YouTube a couple months ago, and I'm so excited about it. But today we're gonna get my second plan. I can't wait for my third and fourth. We'll see what happens. When we click upgrade to publish, you can get the pay monthly or the pay annually option, which we're on now. Annually is great because every month it's a little bit less for personal, business, basic, and advanced. But monthly is also great because you just get to pay less per month. So I usually go annually, and I'll let you know now we're going to end up going with an annual commerce basic plan, but we'll see that in a second. So we're going to check out the refund policy. Basically, guys, if you don't want to go through the reading, Squarespace offers a 14-day refund. So at any point in your free trial, when you decide to actually buy your website, from that point when you decide and when you purchase it for 14 more days, you can get a full refund. They make it easy. They don't hide the refund links or anything. Basically, all you do is just click a couple buttons. They'll tell you the amount of your refund and just give it back to your credit card if it doesn't work. That said, I've never heard of anyone regret getting a Squarespace website because they end up making so much more business off of it. A couple other things is that they don't do refunds after 14 days. They don't do refunds on the monthly plans. They don't do refunds on renewal payments like after a year. So keep that in mind. A lot of people stick with it. Few people don't, whatever. And domains are a separate purchase. So those are not refunded. They actually are purchased for a year. And that said, I think you do have 5 days still just to refund a domain name, which we'll see later on in the video. So guys, I'm going to walk you through what these check marks mean for each plan. And I'm going to make sure we have it on pay annually. So you'll get all these things. Basically, included free custom domain, SSL security, which is that padlock in the upper left corner, unlimited bandwidth, really good. That's basically like a Super Mario pipe of all your traffic coming through. You get an unlimited sized pipe, if you can picture that. Video storage, SEO features. Squarespace makes it all really easy and convenient for us Squarespace builders. And I'll tell you now, if you just want to get the personal plan, you'll be able to use all the features in the video because, basically we're just making website content like logos, image sliders, links, galleries, mobile responsive stuff. So I just want the commerce plan because eventually I want us to be able to sell stuff on our website like, t-shirts, mugs. I have these mugs lying around my house for the business, maybe some succulent plants or juices.
and I want us to be able to sell. I like kind of like going like deluxe when I buy stuff. So can't talk now, but anyone who's ever been to a sports game with me knows I like getting deluxe packages because the experience is just that much more memorable. And then you end up figuring out how to make more profit from it after all. So why keep it, limited if you don't have to? But that said, personal plan will be great. They recommend the business plan, as you can see with the grayed out area, but they're all great. They're all just really good. Abandoned cart recovery, that's like what Amazon does, where if you put something in your cart on your phone or your computer, but you don't buy, they'll remind you like a month later. And it's kind of cool because that actually gets some more traction and sales because we all forget things. So we're going to select in a moment. Hope you're excited, guys. And yeah, life's crazy sometimes. You can see I got my whiteboard out, walk-in closet open. But sometimes in life, when it's the craziest, you just have to sit down and get your own business, your stuff done, whether you have a day job or what. And when you get this done, you'll feel so good for doing it for yourself. So there we go, selecting. Now we're on the payment information plan. Everything's going to be easy. I'm basically going to put in my credit card information. I'll let you know right now, too. Let me tell you, it's all 100% secure. It's Squarespace. I feel confident entering in my info, and I've never had any problems, no hacks or breaches or anything like you hear about these days. So here I go. I'm just going to blank it out so someone can't go on a shopping spree with my card on YouTube. And yeah, I wanted to actually put my real hard-earned capital on this website to show you that I'm for real and I'm buying the website just like you guys are. And I think it's going to go great. So I'm going to enter it in quickly too, just so I don't change my mind later. When I have a good commitment I know is good, I don't like second guessing it too much. So we're going to go ahead and enter it in and then save and continue. All right, should be good. And on the next screen, it's just going to ask for the coupon code, aka promo code. We're going to enter in something really easy. It's just my name, 10, Greg Narayan 10. Some people say Narayan. And this will get you the best discount available at Squarespace at any time. And I know that because I got the connections at Squarespace who let me know any updates on discounts, which I can then send to you. So congratulations. Hope it all works great. It's nice when things work, isn't it? And yeah, that way we'll be able to save some money you can use on whatever you want. We're going to confirm and continue here in a moment. And that is a limited time coupon, so I don't know, can't guarantee how long I'll keep it online. I wish I could, but if you see it, if you're on the video, try to get signed up right away. We're going to click complete payment together. Congrats on making this big step, and it's just going to process. And then right now, guys, it's just going to show you your payment summary. Super exciting stuff. And basically all this means is that the payment's done. We can click go to site. And you can see everything worked. Instead of go to site, we're going to click on the get a free domain name for a year option, and I'm going to tell you what that's all about. And then we're actually going to claim that later in the video. So that doesn't like expire your free domain or something. You'll always get that as long as you got the plan. Congrats, guys, on being a part of the Squarespace community for real. So excited to see what we can build now. And let's keep moving, as they say. And back to edit. All right, guys, moving down, we can change up this lower section here because upcoming classes is good, but we want it to say something really amazing and encouraging. So let's say, choose the class of your dreams. All right, and we can see we have the options of yoga aerobics and instructor training to become your own teacher. And I'm going to highlight two of our classes here, and the first one is going to be the pottery date we can do, and instead of like getting rid of the whole text, it's just gonna, where it gives you the smaller right here, I'm just gonna keep some of these words so we can use that font and the size that Squarespace gives us, and write in pottery date night. Beautiful. And then over instructor training we'll do the same thing, but we're gonna go with sailing the lakes. Okay, guys, so next up we are going to add a image or two to the home page. Let's go to our editing window and make sure we hover on done and click save, and that will refresh it in other windows, the changes we've made. Okay, so now here we are, back into edit and scroll down. Now, one of the most common ways to get images from the real world onto your website is to take them with your phone and then send them to your your own email, and then they'll be on your computer. So I'm doing that right now from my iPhone 13 here, and still haven't broken it yet. So I hope it works. And the photos will be super HD. So that's probably the best way to get photos onto your website other than Google Images, which I love doing, or from Pexels or Pixabay or a free image site. Let's open up our Gmail and we will see if they arrived. So I'm going to open up my pottery class date here, and you do get treated to some real images, not just demo stock images in this Squarespace website tutorial. And I'll just grab the first one and we're going to go ahead and download it. And this is going to be called Pottery Classes. All right, and that's a pretty boring name actually. Come on, Greg. Let's call that one in our downloads. We're going to call that one Spinning the Clay Pottery Date Class. Cool. So hopefully that'll be pictures of your students at your class that had a successful, fun time, and will inspire other people to sign up. So to get our image onto this website space, we're just going to click on the image anywhere, edit it, and now we have the option to replace, upload file, hit our downloads, double click on the correct image. And the only issue is that this is a portrait style image and it's not landscape. So we'll see how it fills in. Okay, so it's not great, but Squarespace is smart enough to put it like off to the left. So you can drag and drop it if you like, so it fits. And then maybe, just maybe, we can fill this space with another image. How would we do that? Wouldn't that be cool? So we have our one pottery image and we had a second one there. Why don't we try to add a block and an image and then drag that over, and now we can create an image collage in our little section about choosing the class of your dreams. We just need to make it a little bigger. Maybe a little bigger. Okay, that's good enough. Let's click on plus, upload file, and to go to our Gmail, we actually have to cancel that little drop down, and we're going to hit to the right. So we have one more image. All right, look at us looking all cute. And we have finished pots before kiln pottery date class. And I'm just doing that little dash and the category. So when I'm looking through all the images from the different courses that we're signing people up for, I can sort them easier. Okay. Plus again, upload file. Great. And you really should have your own, image categorizing system. Makes everything a lot easier. Okay, so the image is small, but if we should drag it, now we can get a better result. Okay, so Squarespace really does let us maneuver things. Pretty darn convenient, eh? And we're gonna have to see what's going on with this text right here. So to get some text behind an image to the front, you just click on the block itself, and then we can hover on this little solid box and click move forward. How cool is that? All right, so the only thing is that image, the other image wanted to go left then, so let's grab this other image. Clicking around a million times, we will eventually pull things into the right spot. All right, that looks pretty good. We can just drag the title over, and everything is point and click and drag and drop in Squarespace, which is really helpful for us web designers who would rather not move things around with code. All right, cool guys. So I hope you enjoyed that real life photo from a real life date class. Now for sailing the lakes, let's just click on our image and click edit, replace it. And we're gonna select from library because we have some cool images already, or at least I thought we did, from our courses. But I guess the images from Squarespace's classes are hosted elsewhere. So in our case, we just have these two. And I'm gonna click replace and upload. And we're gonna grab sailing class. All right, very cool. Now we're gonna drag it so it's aligned with our pottery date images. And it should kind of grip the other space so it knows how to be precise. It's gonna grip the borders. All right guys, and then by clicking fill and fit back and forth, we can actually fill that space. Perfect. It looks like the borders are now lined up. So that's how to fill an image into its section on Squarespace. Okay, and then sailing the lakes, we're gonna bring that up a little bit, and it knows where the other text is on the left. Perfect, those are aligned. We just need to get the text color a little different because the white's not gonna stand out. So you can click on the circle right here, which is the color wheel, and go to custom. And then we can easily grab a different color for the text. Pretty cool. If you're anything like me, choosing a color is difficult because I just pick neons and like bold colors, and I don't have the eye for design in terms of like a space and the right color. So I'm forced to go with white and gray and black a lot. I'm not colorblind, but you know what I mean if you're like that too. So play around a bit, and then you can always default to like a black. And to stand out even better, we can highlight it all and make it bold. And highlight the white text and make it bold. Love it, guys. Great job. And you might see that the image of the sailboat is a little bit closer to the right-hand side of our screen than the image of the pottery date is. So we can drag the sailboats inwards so that they're about 2 different little grid columns away from the edge. And that'll help things look better on mobile. Awesome. Okay, now it's time to scroll down. And what if we want to make an image that's parallax? Well, we know how to make these basic images and resize them and drag them around and make them fit in the Squarespace sections perfectly. But if we want to make a parallax image, we have to do it a little differently. So we're going to click Add Section. All right, and then I'm going to go down and click on our images. And there's a bunch of demo images, and some have the really cool offset quote, which we might have to use later. Or you could just do a quote in general, which is great for an image to sit behind it. But in our case, I'm just going to add a section, and I'm going to make it add blank. And there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to add a block and go with a image. We'll edit the image and add an image. Select from library. And let's try one of their free images. Cool. How about that? All right. So I'm just kind of into mountains right now, and we're going to grab this nice glacier right here and add image. Okay, and I'm sure this image is big enough to fit the full width of the screen. So let's go to design and fill it. Okay, so that didn't do enough, did it? Let's click out and let's see if we can edit the section. Well, the section has an option for a background image, so maybe that'd be a better place. Let's try to add image, select from library again, choose our free image and add it. There you go, guys. Great. So now what we can do is have images on top of an image if you have like a background that's perfect for all of your different photos of yourself and your loved ones. But in our case, we just want to remove that block and have the one section image so it looks super clean. Now we're going to edit the section, and we're going to go to background and image effect. And we can see there are different options like liquid. Whoa, crazy. Look at that crazy image. There's also film grain. Not sure what that does. You have the lines that are retracted or refracted. We also have tilt. So I think the coolest one there is liquid. I'm not sure, but I like liquid. And I'm going to ask Google parallax image Squarespace. And let's see what they come up with. So here's a tutorial by Squarespace. Let's see what they say. Okay, guys, so what that tutorial creator told us was to change the image effect to tilt. All right, I'm not sure why a whole tutorial was needed on just telling us to change one image effect, especially when the parallax isn't that full. So it comes time for our first assignment to you guys. If you know a better way to set the parallax effect on images in Squarespace, let me know in the comments, and I will feature you in as many ways as I can think of and try to hook you up. Now, that's a decent parallax and doesn't use code, but I'm going to work on it too and see if we can improve that. But sadly, in the interest of time, we're going to have to move on, and that is our parallax for now. All right, so the next section we want to add is just going to be a full screen image slider, also known as a slider gallery. And we can put that right beneath our quote here. So what we can do is click Add Section and then hit Gallery and check out our gallery options. The one I really like is this full width gallery with the 3 images beneath it, because that way someone can kind of choose and it'll just jump to that gallery. So if this works for you, then go for it. I love the white space around it also. But in our case, I want the slider to be wider, and we want to actually be able to click, from slide to slide. Even though this is kind of cool, it lets us drag the pictures. So we're going to delete that one and remove it, and then add one more section. And now we're going to do blank, and let's try to add a block. So in our blocks, you can see we also have the gallery option, and that'll just probably be something more simplified, like a basic photo gallery. So we're going to ask Google one more time how to get the image slider into Squarespace. How do we do that? Well, here's a video, so let's see what they have to say. Okay, so that's a little confusing. Let's see what else Google had to offer. I like that we saw the image slider option. We're going to go to Site Setting Advanced Code Injection. Okay, we don't want to do code though. How about just this simple video? 2 minutes, 37 seconds. We can do it.
Hi everyone, this is Victoria from Elfsite. In this guide, I'm going to show you how to add slider to your website. It's only going to take a couple of minutes, and you don't need any specific skills to do it.
Okay, we love it. It's free to create a slider with Elfsite. And I'm going to like the video once I sign in, and we can get the light version to add the slider to our Squarespace website. So let's do it. Okay, and our site is just kind of giving us all white right now. It's just not a fan of us at the moment. Also, guys, if your images that you dragged around get off center, you can fix them easily just by re-dragging them. I know it's a little bit of a pain, so I'm not going to require, that you go ahead with the dragged image option. You might just want to fit perfectly sized images that are the same size into the given blocks that the template provided. So just wanted to show you how to actually customize them a little more with dragging, but don't have to do it this way. And hopefully eventually it will just save them in the right place. Alright folks, so now that we know how to add an elegant slider to our website thanks to Elfsite on YouTube, let's go ahead and put it in. We have our blank section here beneath our quote and our button. And just for fun, I'm going to see if the whole section can be code, because I know we can make a code block. Let's edit it and remove it, and now add it again, and scroll down and see if there's a code option. There's not in Squarespace. We just need to have a blank section, and then add block, and now we're going to do code. And we can leave code here and hover on done and save it. Cool. Okay, now we're going to go over to the YouTube video made for us by Victoria from Elfsite. Thanks so much, Victoria. And what we're going to do is click on the Elfsite link. Alright, and I might give you like my own affiliate link to Elfsite in the description beneath the video, so check it out down there. Maybe I'll put one down there for you. And now we're going to hover on the top area and widgets, okay, slider. That's where we are, and we are already on the slider page, so we just need to click create widget. Awesome. Alright. On the left, we can select a template to start with. Super cool. So if you have a store, go with the store offers. There's also products, gym gallery, season sale, super pretty hotel presentation. And I kind of want the full width, but I know a lot of you guys are going to want to have some text on top of the slider. So why don't we stick with store offers? All right, we've already highlighted store offers. So we're going to scroll to the bottom and continue with this template. And now join to install them. And you just need to enter in an email and password. And like they said in their YouTube channel, this part is free, no credit card required. And sign up. Okay, and it looks like Elfsite has an affiliate commission, so you know I'm all about that and going to join. And you can too. So in the meanwhile, if you feel like clicking on my affiliate link in the description to Elfsite, I would really appreciate it. And that way you can say thanks for this little demo on how to get a free slider for Squarespace. So I'm going to click on that and apply to that later once we're done learning Squarespace. Okay, so all we need to do now is just explore our settings and our advanced and our slides area, and now click on one of the slides to change it. Then click on this link here, which is an image, and we're going to select a file to upload. Okay, so now I'm going to select an assortment of our class images, starting with yoga class with a view. Alright, and it will import perfectly, and then to change the text, you just click on content, and then open up the section you want to edit and go ahead and change it. It's a little bit of navigating to go from title back to content or go to the button, for example, but it is so worth it because Elfsight is free and it's going to look really good. Okay, and you can have links, of course. What we're going to do for links is go to our business website and we can zoom out. And then I'm just going to grab links from our real website, like classes. Then paste those into Elfsight. All right. Cool, there's our classes. Let's go back now and change up the text. You can always change the color of text if it looks better with your image and go back. And the only thing I'm not sure how to change is the new arrival, but wait, there it is. It's just called a badge, and you can easily turn that off if it's not a new arrival type of class. Or you can change it up to say like new class offering and get people excited for what you're offering. All right, so that's how to do one of the slides, and we're gonna save it. Okay, it's going to go to our select slider plan, and like they said before, you are more than welcome to choose light and go ahead and embed the slide. So in the interest of our tight budget, because we're a new class website, we're going to choose light. But if you want the basic, pro, or enterprise, they give you a coupon for 24 hours. It's going to expire soon, so if you plan on paying for it, best to use it now because it's going to go away otherwise. Okay, we're going to select light for now just because we're doing the demo, and we get this code to put on our website. So I'm just going to click anywhere on this overlay box and copy it and come back to our site. We're going to zoom in to edit it, and because Elfsight is dynamic, we can put the code in and then edit it, and it'll automatically update on our website. So let's edit and then come down to our little code block. I'm going to click on the code block and edit, and then I'm just going to click open the HTML. Okay, we got HTML, that's good. And let's try to just paste over the default code. Okay guys, so now we find out that Elfsight uses JavaScript here. Pretty typical little JavaScript iframe. Elfsight makes them. This is exactly what Google would give you for a Maps embed, or Facebook would for a Facebook page plugin. So it looks like we're gonna start thinking about that business plan. And by start thinking, I mean we're gonna get it in the tutorial. For now, I want you to just be done with your slider though and have it set up. So we're gonna actually just close this, and script is disabled, but if we open it, the script should still be there. So once we get our business plan, then your slider will start working. Okay, let's done and save it, and go back to Elfsight, and we're gonna do the couple more images. Okay, so we're gonna click on the name. We're gonna call this homepage Squarespace booking slider. All right, and now we just need to edit these other two slides. So click on top of the slide, click on top of the image link, select file. Beautiful. We're gonna grab our cooking class JPEG, and now head to the content. Looks good. Title is gonna be Cook with Us on Tuesdays. Just kind of freestyling here, that sounds good. Go back. The badge is going to be off because this is not a new class. Text is going to be learn honey, sesame, based salmon with a variety of sides, and homemade sorbet for dessert, plus fresh coffee. Okay, so we're offering one of those cooking classes where you actually cook in the class and eat it to finish it off. And of course we want coffee at the end. Our button is just gonna say, again, sign up, keep it consistent, and the link is gonna go to the classes page on your website. So we can zoom out, again, copy the classes link, come back to Elfsight and paste it in. Beautiful, and there we go. Now we're gonna go back and change up the title so the Tuesday is capitalized, the on is capitalized rather, and we're gonna make this every Tuesday. Okay, and now we can save it. And by doing that, it will save on our website once the slider's working, of course. Let's click to open the slider once again and add one last slide. Click on the third slide, click on the link for the image, select file, and this is gonna be our pottery class. Cool. Okay, and then go to content, title, spin the wheel, and get messy. Okay, awesome. And back. The text for this one, we are going to disable it just because that says enough right there. And for the button, we have, of course, sign up. And for the link, we already have the link to our classes page. Perfect. Let's go back and change up the badge. And I love Get Ready for Beach. Always like to do that on any given day, but this one is just going to be a new offering for this summer. And save it. Okay guys, so our slides are now done and made. Of course, when you open up the slider, you'll realize you can add more slides, which is a super cool feature. You are not limited in Elfsight, and I really recommend you try it out because this is probably the coolest free Squarespace widget I've found to date. Make sure to save one more time, and once we get our business plan, the slider will start working on your homepage. But wait, it looks like the slider is already working, so what's up with that? Let's refresh our homepage and see that we actually have the slides in there. Huh. Edit them. All right. Look at that. We just maybe need to make this slide bigger. It says script disabled, but the slider is working. Well, what if we drag things wider with the ease of Squarespace's grid? And done, save it, and see what we made. And scroll down, and what a nice little hack. We just learned how to display our slider on our website. Awesome little pop-in text, and all three slides are working. So cool little hack there, even though it said that the slider code wouldn't work because we need JavaScript, it actually does work. And of course there's one little catch that you are the only one that can see it as the owner. So we're still going to need that business plan, it looks like. And you can remove the Elfsight logo by subscribing to a paid plan. Cool. So for the sake of our tutorial, you now know how to make a slider, but to really get your slider looking professional on your real course website, you're going to need the business plan at Squarespace, and probably, guys, you're going to need a basic plan at Elfsight. That's what I would recommend, because you want to go all in on your website and actually get signups and not have it look like you're using some free tool here. But at least now you know how to set it up. Next, we're going to learn how to insert a testimonial in this demo text and button section that our Kalima template has set up for us at Squarespace. So let's zoom in, and we're going to go ahead and edit. And this is actually the perfect size text for a testimonial, and we just want one. Although you could put testimonials rotating in a slider like this too, with like the image of the person and their title and what they said about you. Like, you know, Jon Snow and then best services ever, I'll be back for more from Google or something. So here we go with our add a block, and I just want an image, and we'll show you what we're going to do with it. So let's move it down, and now let's move our text over and ideally inwards. And now we're going to have our image just right there next to the text. Okay, and we can offset everything from the button a little if we want these two things to be kind of their own little piece of work on the left over here. Now let's click plus and edit the image and choose an image and upload file. All right, and so we just want like an image of ourselves, and we're just going to say something about the website we're making and how great it is for being a booking class website. So we could choose like a goofy picture. This is me in New York, so why not? And just give it a second, and there's our image. And we can use the little circle pointer to choose which part of the image is displayed. So I want to get rid of a little bit of that building rooftop on the right. All right, and now scroll down. Cool. And then in design, we can choose the radius to make our image a circle, which I love, because that makes it look a lot more like a testimonial type of image. And now click away. All right, and done, save. So that doesn't want to work at the moment. It looks like the picture is sized just how it wants to be. So let's click on edit, and hit the crop button in the upper right. And let's bring in our image a bit so it's more of a square. And if you hold shift and pull, and you can also click on the aspect ratios on the right to change the dimensions. Okay, we're gonna bring it in and we're gonna make it 1:1 so it's a square. And that way we can really bring in the photo to cover mainly just our face. Okay, now we'll save it and permanently crop it. Awesome. Now let's go back to design, click on our corner radius, and let's see if we can get that working. Not working. How about shape? There we go. Shape's what we want. We don't want stretch. And for lightbox, that would just mean, I believe, someone can click on it and it will pop out. So let's try lightbox for fun. Either way, we got our circle looking good. We can bring our text a little closer to it. And now let's edit our text and insert a cool quote. So you need to be in the text tab right here, and the edit pencil doesn't do a ton. We really just want to be like inside the text with this bar editor like Microsoft Word. Okay, so this is like way too much writing about meditation and reflexive yoga, and ain't no one gonna read that. So let's go with a simple quote about something like motivation, and we can see when we brought the text down, it made our image smaller. That was weird. But you can always just click and pull and make the image bigger. Love it. And now I'm going to highlight the quote again because I have a good one in mind. And remember, if you delete that last letter of the text, it'll bring you back down to small text, but that's just fine. I'm going to write, if you don't go, you'll never know. Right? And I like that quote specifically because it means if you don't go on a trip, you'll never know what was on the other end of that flight. You'll never know how that conference was. You'll never know who you could have met. And even if it is kind of disappointing when you go somewhere, and even if a trip or a class is kind of average, you'll still have a starting point to go and grow even further. So you got to go to know. All right, so we'll click on our text again. And I'm going to hit Command A or Control A on a PC. And now we can bring it up to a heading 1. It's pretty big. Maybe heading 2 is good enough. It's good enough. All right, great guys. And if you did want to change the exact font of this quote, I'll show you how when we do our custom CSS towards the end of the video. Okay, so this one's by Greg Narayan, yours truly. I know, kind of full of myself there. But that looks good. And now we can even bring down our circle image a bit so it lines up with our quote. Love it. All right, so what does this button do over here? That is for shrinking the section if you ever want to change the grid size. So pretty cool, and that will basically condense or make a section in Squarespace skinnier. All right, now we're gonna have this text over here head to the blog. So we're gonna say, learn more about our inspiration and journey at our blog, and it's gonna be called Boredom Busters because we're busting boredom with the cool classes we offer. All right, and then this button's gonna say, once we click on it and edit it, it's gonna say read the blog or just read blog. Perfect. Now we can open our setup in a new window. Just started typing parakeet and it came up, so you'll have probably a different bird or animal at the heading of your subdomain, and we can right click on, oops, so we don't want to be in the config, we want to be on the actual site right here. It's going to go to config anyways, so we have to zoom out. Just kind of how Squarespace works, and we can right click on the blog link, copy it, copy link address, and paste it in right here for our link. Nice work, guys. You can also change up how the button looks or change the style of it, but I think this fits pretty good with our template. Next, let's scroll down and get our newsletter working so people can subscribe to your online course booking website. Next, why don't we get your newsletter section working? So we can scroll down to our templates, subscribe to our newsletter section, and let's see how the whole thing comes together. So here's a newsletter block. We can edit it. And there's some basic settings here like design and most importantly storage, which will give you like the float or the stack options. Pretty cool. So stack would be for a sidebar on a website. Float's more for the home page or any other page. And storage is the most important area because this is where you actually decide where the email addresses go and where the emails come from to get to your subscribers. Let's click on Squarespace email campaigns. And you can see that if no mailing list is selected, you can still find your subscribers in profiles. So that's pretty cool. We like that we have the profiles option, and we can click on this arrow out to open it up. Pretty cool. So here is where your subscribers would be stored in-house with Squarespace. And basically this is like a built-in email newsletter app. Let's click next. We can create segments, so groups based on like what type of email campaign you have, or maybe who opened your last email. And here is all that there is to offer. It looks a little confusing now, I know, and it took me a while to learn my email marketing campaign, which was Aweber, and then I joined Constant Contact 2 and also MailChimp. But after you send a few emails, you'll get the hang of it, no problems. So back here, we're gonna do the none option because we're just gonna have people go to profiles. And there's an option here to send a confirmation email so that someone can't subscribe for someone else, and the email will go to them just saying, hey, just confirming you subscribe to my newsletter. So we don't need to touch any of that right now. We can just go back. And there's also other storage options. So you could have people stored in MailChimp, Zapier, or Google Drive, which might make things a little more confusing. I'd rather keep them under one roof in Squarespace. And then there's Google reCAPTCHA, which is pretty cool. Add Google reCAPTCHA so you can turn on reCAPTCHA for newsletter blogs, platforms, all that. And to do this, we'd have to create reCAPTCHA keys. So that will be for another Squarespace tutorial. All right, guys, so the bottom line is you're in business. Anyone who subscribes to your Squarespace newsletter here will show up right there in your profiles. And that's all accessible from your dashboard. Scrolling down, and right here under tools is profiles. Love it, love it. Okay, so we can go back and we can close out of here, and we just need to change up the text and the buttons, and you'll be good to go. So we can do a little better than subscribe to our newsletter. How about stay current on classes and get a free coupon. Okay, cool. And we're gonna say when you sign up for our very infrequent newsletter, you'll get a 10% off coupon code, good for any class. Cool. So when someone signs up, you'll just find them in profiles, and you have to manually email them a coupon code, which we can easily set up later now that you have a completely functional commerce website. Okay, so let's go out of here. Let's click on the first name part, and you can always change the form fields. I'm just not exactly sure where to change them at the moment. But in any case, there's really no point to changing first name, last name, and email address. Maybe you can change those in profiles and collect other pieces of data from them, like their phone number. But in our case, that's just perfect. You can also edit it and change the sign up option. We can change it to subscribe. Or maybe I'm in. Love it. Next up on our homepage, let's edit the footer. And the footer is not a section that you would add like top to bottom. The footer is just its own little part of our template. Kind of like the header is the uppermost part, the footer is the lowermost part, and it's just its own little island over here. But fortunately, when you edit it on one page, it will update on all of your pages. So let's edit footer. Okay, great. And we can go ahead and change up the title here. So our title is... And it took me the whole drive home and banging my head against the wall to realize that I want a domain name that's fun and cool and not something boring like thatlocalbusiness.com or creativebusiness.com. So for our domain name, I wanted to choose something that will get kids excited and will get adults who feel like being kids excited. And that's why I'm going to pick something like the grumpy blank, or the funny blank, or the sassy blank. And what I really want to do is something with pirates, because I've always liked pirates. And that way the store can have that theme and people can build things related to pirates like boats and treasures and palm trees and swords and stuff out of clay. Or they can think about that sort of a vibe when they're on the sailing classes. So for our domain name, if you get removed from that area when you're designing your site, or you can't think of it like me, you just go right back to it in site availability. All right. And you could click public at any time here to let your friends see your site or make it live. So any visitors who happen to stumble upon it will see it. But in our case, I'm going to keep it private, and we're actually going to come back to this menu, click on your site title, and hit domains. Perfect. Now find a domain or transfer one you already own. Perfect. Get started. Where we were before, we just got booted out of that area because we were working on our website, and get a domain. So for some reason, I just find the grumpypirate.com to be cool, because then it can be a pirate teaching the classes about clay or yoga. How funny would that be? Do yoga with pirates, and then if you mess up, they can get all grumpy on you, but not really be grumpy, just play grumpy. Fortunately, ours is free, super cool. But one thing to also keep in mind is that extensions like booking, because we are learning how to make a booking appointment website for your local business with Squarespace. So these booking extensions might charge a little more on GoDaddy. They might charge more on a different place like GoDaddy or Namecheap. But at Squarespace, you get the .space extension included free, .me, .org, .online. And like I said, those might be more pricey elsewhere just because they're new extensions. They're kind of cool. .live, .online, they're kind of cool. We can't find .booking, but keep in mind that might be a way to get extra value with Squarespace and get a deal, because on Squarespace they're free, and on other registrars they might cost like $30 or something, or more than that. In our case, we always get the .com. There's our morning train at 8:25 a.m. Makes sense. Yep. Get us up nice and early, but we already beat it. And we get the .com because it's the most profitable if you ever want to sell your booking appointment website on Squarespace to someone else, or maybe you just want it to be more recognizable and you say your domain name at a live conference, like, hey, I'm the Grumpy Pirate. They'll assume it's the .com, just like when someone says, hey, my domain name is the Facebook. Someone's going to visit the facebook.com to check out your work, not the facebook.net. Okay, so we have our domain name. It's available. We found a good one. Let me know any questions. If you can't find yours, I have a ton of strategies on how to pick something clever, which is hopefully always available. We always get the right one for people eventually. And sometimes we get lucky right away. So let's click on it and add it to cart now and check out. Awesome. I'm so excited. So the cost of the grumpypirate.com would be $20, but with our free deal from Squarespace, and thanks so much, by the way, again, for using my link and for using my code, we get our free domain for 20 minus 20, which is 0. And now just come down and pop in your registration information again. They need it for the domain name because domain names are sometimes a separate purchase than the website themselves, and domain names have to be filed under a different category by law to keep them protected. It's kind of cool when you realize your address exists in several other states, like mine's also existing in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, and in Bristol, UK. With our registration info entered, we'll click Save and Continue. And now is the fun part. We just have to confirm payment, so let's do it together. And a huge congratulations through the interwebs from my computer to yours where you're making your website, if this is your first domain name. I loved that feeling so much when I got mine back in 2010. So congratulations. Here we go. Let's confirm payment and get this locked up. All right, it's going to just take a second now because we have to give it a second. And the domain name is being purchased, and then being internet FedExed over your way, and then they're kind of running up to your doorstep and setting it up, and then we'll be able to have your domain name working. So you don't have to do anything else now. If you follow the steps, you did everything right. We're just going to click done. We're not going to get Google, by the way, because I like managing my own Gmail. Once you have Google manage your Gmail for you, or you pay them, things can get kind of sticky, kind of icky. So I'm not going to go with this offer. We are just going to click done. And like I said, you did everything right. We could say, Got it from someone on YouTube, which was Greg Narayan. Sweet. Okay, if we visit our domain name right away, you'll have to be lucky for it to show up right away within the next couple minutes. So it says private site if you're the owner or contributor login. But now, what if we go, but in a few minutes, I believe it will show up because we are logged in. So it should show up for us. And your subdomain name, which was, in my case, which for me was Parakeet Copper STMC, will now automatically transfer and map over to your real domain name we just purchased. So this one will go bye-bye in just a second. Alright guys, so I went ahead and waited about 15 minutes there, got an iced coffee from the kitchen, and now when we go to our site, it still says it's private, so that's fine. Let's see what happens when we zoom out and are on our temporary domain name at Squarespace. It's going to still show up there. So let's check out our domain settings. Let's go back to our panel here and domains. Click on our domain name there. Alright, all these settings look good. Certainly don't want to cancel them, and we're going to go back. Alright guys, so time for one of my favorite things we do when we make a website or make a blog, and that is to troubleshoot something that no one else has really explained on Google articles or on YouTube, because maybe it's so simple that they forgot to. Drives me crazy, but sometimes we just have to figure out simple things that no one else felt like telling us. And that thing is how to get our domain name working, so when you visit your real domain name that you just bought with Squarespace, it shows up and your site instead doesn't live on your temporary domain name. So how do we move the temporary subdomain name website you made with Squarespace to the real domain name you just bought? We all want to do that. We'll have a few ideas and we're going to work through it together and hopefully have some fun here on a little bit of a treasure hunt. So I really want, by the way, to get it to look like this YouTuber, Louise Henry, who has the green bar and her website, Solopreneur Sidekick, is connected, and it says connected with the green. And ours right now just says primary, all right? And it's not green, it's not connected. So let's figure it out. Let's go back and we're gonna see what we can do. Okay, so we already tried clicking publish our site. And let's try clicking on public. If we get it public, maybe the world will be able to, get to our domain name and view our site, our real domain name. We're going to save it and share it with the world to start driving traffic. Okay, it says it's live. We can copy that. You can also quickly share it on like Twitter. That's pretty cool. All right, boom, tweeted. And let's see if that worked. So when we refresh our private site now, yay, we get our real site and the temporary domain name is gone and our real domain name we just bought is here to stay. So that did it. And I hope that little step right there was a touch of magic for you, because it certainly took me at least 15 minutes there of looking up all sorts of Google articles and they never explained it as clearly as we did right there. So good job, everyone. And I'm glad troubleshooting didn't take us too long. Now when we refresh this page right here with our domain names on it, what is it going to say? Well, it'll just say primary, I guess. We're not doing that green bar anymore. That's totally okay. It'll just say primary. Different design on the back end of Squarespace there. Alright guys, a couple more domain tips you need to know from Squarespace. If you connect your domain name and then you want to get rid of it, there are some basics that we should have in the Help Center. For example, there is a refund policy within the past 5 days. If you want to remove your domain name within 5 days, you can cancel it immediately. After 5 days, your only option will be to disable the auto renew, and that means you'd have your domain name for the full year, which is pretty darn good. I've always liked keeping my domain names, and I've never regretted working on sites and making them profitable and come to life. There's also the option to change your Squarespace domain, and I'm not sure why it's not coming up right now. That's because it's called renaming at Squarespace, and they're telling us that if you want to change it, you can also change it within 5 days of registration. That means canceling your domain name immediately and replacing it with a new domain name if you realize you need a new idea, or maybe your team gets together and says, hey, we want this domain name instead. They'll do it within the minute. For example, if you register a domain name at 8 a.m. on January 1st, you can cancel it until 5 days later, up until that very last minute of 5 total days. All right, a primary domain name can't be removed. To remove your primary domain name, you must first set a different domain. So there has to be some domain there. And there's no 5-day grace period for country-level domain names because those have different registration rules. All right, so that's how to do it. So keep in mind those key 5 days, and after that, you're just going to have to live with it and love it. If you wanted to get your domain name working, guys, which you had bought previously from GoDaddy or Namecheap or something, you can do that too. From the domains panel, you're going to want to click use a domain name I own. And then from this one, enter it in, like dearblogger.com. Then once you click it, it's going to tell you that you can go to where it's from, so you can connect it right here. If you transfer it in some easy steps, then the domain name will actually live at Squarespace, but we'll have to cover that in a different video. What I want to do now briefly is, because we always cover this step, is just how to connect it so your domain name can live at GoDaddy, for example, and work with your Squarespace website. And when people visit it, they'll go to Squarespace. So connect it, you would select the provider like GoDaddy, etc., and then you connect it. Okay, it's not going to work because dearblogger.com actually is somewhere else. And actually, I can just cancel this one right there. So that didn't do anything at all. Now, what you're going to have to do is follow a short video. I'll link you in the description below on all the CNAME settings you need to enter in at the registrar, like at GoDaddy. You enter in those settings so that it works with Squarespace. Squarespace gives you those settings, and you put them in at GoDaddy, for example, to connect everything. And Squarespace is a perfect 2-minute video on that, which I'll link to you in the description. For example, if you already have a domain name somewhere else which you want to use. So that should cover it. So now that our domain is working and we have our branding tied together a little bit more, we can go ahead and change up our logo. So on our site, let's click on Edit. And then at the top, let's finally edit site header. And after this, we'll edit the footer. So our logo is the first thing we see on the right. You can click on Site Title and Logo. And here we can upload the mobile logo and the main big logo. Or you could just change the title to Local Business Amazing or something, and that will fill in if you want a text title. In our case, I know we can get great logos for free at logomaker without the e.com. So we're going to go here and start a design. And just click away, and you'll get this awesome grid, like a notebook to make your logo on. And we can search graphics. So there's some demo ones by default, like headphones, soccer balls, lamps, painting. I want to look up pirate for the first time. Cool. Now we need one that looks a little bit grumpy. Okay, and usually the best ones are at the top, I find. So you can get a realistic looking one or more of just a cartoony looking one. Now for your logo, you want the right shape. Generally rounded shapes and icons get clicked more than square or kind of miscellaneous looking shapes that people can't really figure out at first glance. So for ours, I'm thinking between this one right here for the pirate or this guy up here. They both look pretty grumpy, but not too angry because we want it to be fun. And then once you find your guy, just go ahead and click on him and it will populate. And you could also ask a friend because sometimes just having your own brain and your own eyes is not enough to really find something that everyone's gonna like. Okay, now that we have our pirate, we can click and style him a little bit. So let's click on the paint bucket and we're gonna get a brown. Okay, let's get a nice brown and click his beard. Cool. Now we're gonna get something for his hat. And black's a good color for sure. Now we're gonna get something for his eyes, and it's gonna be a blue-eyed pirate. Cool, and we can just click on his eye. And if it gets his hat too, that's okay. Let's see if we can get his hat back to black though. Got our black color here, and we're gonna click on his hat. Oh, looks like it's tied to the eye. So not to worry, you can always get the blue again. I mean, that's kind of cool. Blue is a trustworthy color, so we are happy with that. And we still have the nice black eyes on the skeleton. We should go click on our site and see if we think the logo colors will look good. So we have this nice darker background with the party. That's a party after one of our classes, potentially. Everyone's so excited. And everyone's so excited to have learned about our services and gain a new skill. And we're gonna have to decide really if the colors are gonna work. So maybe a green would be better. Maybe he's a green-eyed pirate because that's more of a piratey color in the first place and a nature color. That looks better. Okay, once you have your colors and you've decided on the right brightness for everything, then just go ahead and X out of the color wheel, and we're gonna X out of the layers and hit crop. Cool. Now, you can also hit Command Z to uncrop. And if you wanna give yourself a title next to that, I totally understand. You can also click T for text and then go ahead and write in something like the Grumpy Pirate. Then you can take your text and you can center it or move it to the right location in relation to your logo. Very cool. And you can change the color just by grabbing on the color palette and moving it around. I think that looks good for our purposes. I like how the is lowercase, but it might look better in white because a lot of this is dark on the movie behind the logo. So let's click on the text and bring the color up to white. But before we make it white, let's click on the text and change the font. We can go from railway to really anything that we think might fit and look pleasing to the eye. That's a cool one. That looks like all official and piratey with Julius Sands on. We're just gonna make it white now. Not magenta, but white. Cool, and now let's crop. Okay, and where's our title there? If you lose control of part of the logo, just click on the T or the paint bucket again. Delete that demo text, and then it'll find where you are. And I want to make sure we crop the black part perfectly, so I'm going to bring it back to colored. Now crop, and it might give you too much room, which we don't want. We want it nice and tight around the logo. Cool. Just make it symmetrical on both sides. It doesn't have to be perfect because people really won't see those small differences as long as you eyeball it within reason. And now let's click on the Grumpy Pirate again. I don't believe we can make that bold. Maybe we can highlight it though and go Command B. Nope, doesn't work. So let's just make it white. Oops, what happened to our crop? Bring in that crop one more time. Okay, hit enter. Now let's click on our text one more time and make that white. All right, and now we can hit save. And it's going to tell you that you need to give credit to logomaker.com on your site, which you must do. Super easy. They have instructions here. And you just need to put a link to their site and a little bit of description on your credits page. So now we're going to click download low resolution PNG file, accept the terms, and download the free file. And this is going to be Grumpy Pirate logo version 1 and save it. And we might have a version 2. We'll see. Hopefully this works though. Now back in Squarespace, click Add Logo, Upload File, double click on our Grumpy Pirate logo, and we did it! Great, there he is, little guy. I think he's gonna fit our site perfectly. We just have to make him a little bit bigger. Grumpy Pirate classes, all right, cool. The biggest we can go, it will be limited at a large size, and we can make him bigger on mobile too. Go with 100 even there and X out. And now back and done, save. And we now know how to make a logo on Squarespace. Let's zoom out and see how he looks. Not bad. All right, so you might want your text to be a little bit more HD. To do that, you can always make the logo bigger over here so that when it's condensed smaller, it will be still high resolution or higher resolution. But this will do for now. Great job. With our logo done, we can now edit the footer because we want to put our logo in the footer and a little bit about the Grumpy Pirate. Let's go down and click edit and down again, and now edit footer. Okay, here we are in the footer space, and we'll click on our Colima block. And remember, we don't need to edit the text blocks, you just need to click on them so you get this wide bar editor. Okay, we're going to delete Kalima, and we're going to say made by the Greg Narayan community on YouTube. All right, awesome, guys. And we could also make it thegregnarayan.com because we have a company. And cool. And then, for some reason, it's not liking our double clicks, is it? Huh. Weird. Done, save. I'm going to refresh the site here. It's being a little feisty. And now edit again and scroll down. Edit the footer. Now we can double click. So if it's being feisty on Squarespace, just save it and refresh the page. Delete Kalima. Again, made with the Greg. Great. Delete Squarespace. Let's make both of these a link. So on YouTube, you can go to our channel. We're going to click on link to insert link. And I can just write out the link because that's easy. youtube.com/NarayGuy. That's my channel name, just an old nickname. And then gregnarayan.com, we can just copy that link and then insert hyperlink, and then we'll have our link ready to go. Just make sure you put the HTTPS in front of it and the ://www2 and apply. Awesome, guys. So we need an image down here also. Let's add block and do image. And this is a great place just to remind people what your logo is. So plus upload, Grumpy Pirate. We can bring him in a little, and then we're just going to bring him on top of the text, or to the left of the text is good as well. And he's got the white text, so he's not going to show his title, but that's okay. Just the pirate himself will do just fine. And now let's finish off our text with a little bit about the Grumpy Pirate. Made by the Greg Narayan community on YouTube. Love it. All right, and the section on the left is done. All right, and our left columns are done. Let's go to the middle column, and we're going to change our address here. Just going to delete it and enter in our address from YouTube Spaces NYC, which is where we do a lot of our work. When we're in town, you can find me at Chelsea Market. Pretty cool space. They have free cameras and free technology and free buffalo chicken wraps, and also this cool diner you can work in. So great place, run by some really hardworking people. Okay, guys, let's zoom out and go down and see what we need to edit next. All right, next up, we're going to learn how to move some text and a button on top of an image in Squarespace. So let's zoom in, edit, and it's really simple. Once we have some text written out from our template, just click and hold, and if you drag it, it's just going to keep giving you like more and more of a grid, which we obviously don't want. All right, guys, and I can't figure out how to copy paste this entire block onto our lower section, so it's time for our second challenge to you guys. If you can figure out how to save part of the website and then put it onto another part of the website without actually copying the text manually or recreating it, let us know in the comments and I will reward you handsomely. For now, we just need to actually highlight this text. I'm going to copy it and then delete it, and then I'm actually going to delete this entire block and delete our button here. Don't need that button, it's going nowhere. And now we can just pull our section upwards using this convenient button to the right. Nailed it. And now down here we can just highlight the text we have and paste. Color white should look good. Just gotta highlight it and change the color white. All right, cool, guys. So now we can move our text around, make it bigger. And if you want to make it stretch across the whole screen, you can just drag it across and make sure you're using the right amount of grids on either side, which looks like 4. Now we can highlight the text and align it center. Perfect. We can also make that text a little bit bigger. I'm going to highlight the whole thing by triple clicking and go with heading 2. And now pull it a little wider and a little wider. Perfect. Okay, now this section just needs a button, so add block, button. We're going to drag our button down below. And did you ever think, guys, that it'd be that easy to move around blocks on a website? You probably thought it'd involve code and technology and like HTML, JavaScript, CSS, but in Squarespace, it's just as easy as clicking and holding and dragging like you would in PowerPoint. This button's gonna say meet our teachers, and I'm not sure why it auto lowercases. I will have to look into that one for you. And then the button is gonna go to our teachers site. So if we open up our demo site, we can grab our instructors link. For some reason it likes going right into the edit mode, but we just want the live mode. So instructors link, copy link address, and nail it with the button, edit, and paste in our link, and we're good. All right, great job, guys, and done save. If you want to move some text on top of an image like Pottery Date Night or Sailing the Lakes, because it's not lined up with the other text, make sure you click on top of the text and align it vertically and align the other one vertically too. So this one is not aligned the right way. You want to make sure they're either all up or all middle or all down. And done save. All right, folks, now that we have our homepage done and looking super classy, everything is symmetric and makes sense. All the sections on the homepage feature your classes and your offerings and your services. Cool. One thing at the end we're going to have to do is just come in and edit the links so they go to the real domain name that we bought and not the subdomain name. So in the lower left, down there, you can see when you hover on a link, it'll show you the link address, and we're going to have to get rid of that parakeet, or in your case, whatever crazy combination of birds and words you got from Squarespace. So with the homepage done, we can move on to the sub pages of our website, and that means let's start with the About page. The About page is super simple and classy. They've set it up so we have this huge image and then one image that just populates and gracefully appears when someone visits the page. And really, that's all you need. You don't need a ton. People aren't going to spend a lot of time on your About page. They just want to make sure you're legit, see a little bit about you, and learn a tiny tidbit about your story, and then they'll move on if they like it. So let's give people that. Let's go to our About page here in Editor, and Squarespace lets us navigate right to it from the edit window, and now we can hop over and edit it. Okay, the site header is obviously good, although you could have like a different header on the About page. That could be kind of cool. And now it's time to edit the About section. The first thing I'm curious about is if we edit our section, can we get a huge background image in here? Or is the background image going to get cut off at this blue line right here? Let's go to background and add an image. Select from library and see what we can do. So let's go to our free images and try one of these cool mountains and add image. Nice, guys. So we got lucky there. It did cover the entire header and the About section. Love it. Okay, we can click out and scroll down, and we have the About Us text. So let's highlight the text and get our Microsoft Word-esque bar editor. I'm going to make it a little bigger, and I'm going to change it to our story. Cool. And how about a little more actionable? So discover our story. Let's scroll down now, and we have this awesome dude doing the reverse revolve in yoga. I know that because Dear Traveler and I have been doing yoga a few times a week now. So we got that going for him. Honestly, I'm going to have a hard time finding a better position of myself doing yoga, especially with that kind of a view. So we're going to leave these images in. I just think they're super cool, and let me know in the comments if you can even do that pose right there. I cannot. Someday. I can do like a smaller version where your knees are actually on your elbows and you're just on your hands, but goodness, what a guy. So we're just going to go ahead and use the awesome content that Squarespace has given us and then edit the stuff on the right. So try to make it funny, try to make it something people actually enjoy reading, because people have a lot to read these days. So I'm just going to write from the heart, and you can too. Alright, and you can get emojis going easily on a Mac just by hitting Control-Command-Shift in sequence. And if you have a PC, I can't help you. Just kidding. I'm sure there's a shortcut too. It's probably even easier. I always like the little gardeny ones, like the sprout is a good way to incentivize people to start building and growing. Cool. So let's break it up a little bit. And good. All right. Now below we have this huge image. So can I cough up another quote? I can. So I will say be one with it. Okay guys, so on the About page we should have some photos of our team. How do you put a section across with 3 images? Well, I'll show you how to do it. So we can use the demo Squarespace templates if you want. They are certainly pretty cool. And I think we'd be selling ourselves short if we didn't use one of them. So let's grab this one. And now we have these cool drop downs. Love it. It's an accordion. Okay, so how about, oops, I just made all the fonts the same. How about meet the team, not meat like a bison burger. Okay, so we have that. Now we just need to have a few images, and we don't want to like overkill. You know, we don't want our images to be too massive, and we definitely don't need this image of someone else's cabin. Okay, so let's bring it in, guys. Let's bring it in here. Bring that grid up. Nice and clean there. And now we're going to add a block, which is going to be some sort of an image carousel. So why don't we go with like an image? All right. We can arrange that perfectly. And because we are so clever, we can now make this image several images. So let's do one image. Then we're going to do add block, image. Simply drag it to our grid and size it accordingly. And in the future, maybe we'll make this a image slider from that awesome third-party Elf site software that we used before. But for now, let's just use what Squarespace offers us. Great. So we have 3 images. We can easily center meet the team as well. And you'll get the hang of clicking and dragging for sure. Okay, so now we have this beautiful image, team image foundation here, and let's drop our images in. So first one, and I've emailed myself those images, and I will of course put everything in your Squarespace website photos for the video in the description. Okay, so I'm just gonna download and put the crew here. This is Gova, teacher, and then Krista, dear traveler, teacher. And she does have a name, which is Krista. Not Christina, like everyone calls her. Okay, here we go. Upload file. Myself, upload file. Suppose number 2 should be Krista, and Kova can be number 3. Upload file. And then there's Kova. Okay, and if your images are long and you want them short, that's okay. Remember, we can always edit the image and go to design and circle them. Edit this image, edit it, design, and circle it. And the circles are going to be the same size. And lastly, edit Kova's image, design, and circle her. Nailed it, guys. Great job. I'm a little bit on the side over there, but people would probably rather see the view anyways. Okay, and let's done save it. Alright guys, our About page is almost done. We just need to finish off the accordion. To edit our accordion, we can click on top of it and then edit it. And we're going to get 3 or more different little accordion drop downs. So when you click on one of them, you can change the title and then change the information that shows up when people see it. This is great for FAQ sections on a website. And Squarespace is so clever that the text they wrote actually fits the goals that we have here, which is to get everyone to make an appointment booking website with Squarespace for their local business and actually build it and launch it and grow it. So pretty good. We're just going to change things up a little bit. So it says dream the website, build the website, and grow the website. Of course, we don't want each individual section to say the same thing either. So we'll add some inspiration of our own. And back, and now we'll edit our third accordion. Don't wait forever. The best decision when you build a website. Start today, because the earnings potential begins the moment you launch. Imagine putting it off a year and missing out. Okay, and back, and done, save. All right, great job, guys. Our about page is done. Now let's go to the next page, which is our instructors. So again, we have to be on the editing window here. We can click on instructors and now edit to zoom into the page. All right, the first thing we want to change is the header area. And remember, we can edit the section to get a full screen background image, which includes the header space also. So let's go to background. And of course, you could do another video and add an image. Select from library. We're going to go with the free images again. We're going to search for instructor. All right, cool. So Squarespace knows you're going to want to make all types of websites, and they'll have demo images to fit your needs. All right, and we might as well stick with the yoga theme, because that's what seems to come up for instructors, and that's what a lot of us think of too, is a fitness or yoga instructor, and that will help when you want to make your yoga website. So we're going to click on this beachy photo and add it. And this could be like all of your instructors doing an instructor training in the morning. All right, beautiful. And now we're going to go down. And so this would be your first, maybe your founder or your main visionary, or just you, because you created the concept and you are selling yourself. And this could be like your right-hand woman right here. And then you can just keep adding more and more. And so if you want to get the sections further down below, you can just duplicate them. On the section, you can just click right here to duplicate it. And that little double box will give you more options to put in more people. Or you can hit Command Z or Control Z to delete it. Okay, cool. So we can easily change out the images here, although this guy does look like a pretty good founder. And we might as well change up our header text here. So our instructors are certified instructors, because everyone likes when people are trained. All right, and we're going to bring that up a little bit. Although it'd be nice to see the yoga photo, but we can bring it up just a touch. All right, and if you can't bring up a header section, it's because the text section is taking up too much space. So you got to bring that up first on the grid, and then we can bring up the rest of the section. Awesome. All right, now below here, we can say something about our first visionary or the founder of your company. And if you need some cool text right here, maybe you can't find what to say yet, you can always go to panipsum.com, and that will just give you all sorts of dummy text to put in place of your website. Maybe you need to show your boss and you don't know what to say it, but you still want to have something stylish in there. You can just grab random things like coffee words and highlight them, copy it up, then come on back and just paste it in. And there you go. Now it looks like you know a ton of coffee words. All right, and coming down here, we can talk about head instructor, who is going to be named. Oh, remember, if you delete all the text, it'll change the fonts. All right, and again, we can just delete the ipsum and give ourselves some cooler ipsum. And if you check out the cat ipsum, it's pretty funny too. All right, awesome, guys. If you want to really hype up your instructors, you can also give them social profiles. So you just click Add Block and search for social. There's our social links, and we can just drag them down. Super cool, and everyone gets their own little social call out now. Maybe we'll center that right beneath the text. Love it. A little bit lower. Middle center it. And if your blocks get out of order, you can always just re-add them and then recenter them how Squarespace might have envisioned it for you. And then, of course, to actually insert your founders or your head instructor's social links, just click Edit. And then it is super easy to edit up the links. Just click on the Squarespace one and change up the Instagram. So, for example, and back, and then do that for all of them. So, of course, that would not be the real link, but it would be whatever someone is. Like, that's me. Twitter.com/Greg Narayan, where you can actually get insights on how to make a blog and steps for how to overcome writer's block and social media market and get yourself onto other blogs. That's the kind of stuff we talk about, and you really should follow me on Twitter to get that. Okay, so that's how you set up social icons, and of course you can also do more and more and more. There are no limits with Squarespace. You could do a button. You could even have one of your founders with their own unique newsletter. So someone can subscribe to your website newsletter or someone's own individual newsletter, like a podcast newsletter, right here through the Founders Instructors page. Okay, cool. Why don't we go to Done, Save, and zoom out. All right, guys, next up we need to edit our classes page. Let's click on Classes here in the Squarespace dashboard and edit to go into our editing window. Perfect, and now we can just do as we did before with our About page and our Instructors page. And with all of your Squarespace skills now, it's not going to be very hard to swap out some images and text and make it look pretty. For our header background, let's go to Edit section, Background, and this time we're going to choose a video, and I'll show you how to insert a YouTube video as the background. So here we are in video, we're going to add one, and then there's this link down here to add from YouTube or Vimeo link. Just click on that, and now you'll have plenty of time to make your own 30-second or 1-minute YouTube reel about your services. But in our case, you can always find cool demo videos from GoPro, like this example from GoPro Nature. And you can just click on any of the videos you might want to feature. In our case, this is just a demo video, so Italy should do just fine. And then copy the link. And let's see how it works with our website. Paste it in. And add, and then Squarespace will think about it a little bit. And so it's not ideal to have that GoPro intro at the start, but imagine your own logo and your own product at the start of the video, and then it transitions to the beautiful nature scenes from above. And for our classes, we can say our classes take you around the world. I mean, can't beat that. If you have a specific header where the header text color doesn't stand out because the background is lighter behind it, you can always edit that specific header and then go to the style, then click dynamic, and here we have a few different options for our theme here. So you can change the type of theme to get rid of the border, or rather you can opt for a gradient, which will change the color of your navigation items. So in our case, dynamic keeps them white, but if we go with gradient, we're going to get that nice black font color. Cool, and back, and now we'll hover on done and save it. Beautiful. Let's go back to edit now, and we can change up the text and the class examples. So in our case, we have our first one, which we can just call Intro to Yoga, and then there's our demo text, and then the second one we're going to call Intermediate Yoga, and then down below we're going to call this one Advanced Training for Yogis. Cool. Now the book a class option down here will obviously go to our courses page, and we have our text here to describe it. It's super cool. You can change that to say something like, it will change your life one day at a time. How else would you do it? Kind of cute. And I'm not going to change the book of class link right now because at the end of the video we're going to go through and scour all of our links and make sure they go to the right location, which is going to be your actual link here. So right now we're just editing on the subdomain site, in the back end, but when you go live, we want all the links to point to actual Grumpy Pirate links or whatever your real domain is. So hope that makes sense. All right, for now, our instructors page looks good. We're just gonna done save it. Next up, we'll head over to location, and in location, we're gonna put in a real map. And that's pretty easy, although it might seem codey and confusing at first. Just click edit, and now click on the map and edit. And we're gonna see what kind of Google Mapsy features it gives us. So that's great. There's no need to edit code or embed anything. All we need to do is go to your address, your business address in Google. So it'd be like the Grumpy Pirate, and you'd find it. And of course, it's not a real place, just a book. But in our case, we work from Chelsea Market at times, and that's the address we've chosen most of the time. So all you need to do is copy it from Google, and then Squarespace is going to find it. So we can put that in address. All right, and there they go. They found it. Or for example, let's say you're at like YouTube Studios, LA. Where would that be? All right, and then once you get the address of that, it's gonna find it right there on Squarespace. But if the city's wrong, it's gonna get confused, so you have to delete the city and then it'll find the actual address. There we go. Awesome. All right, and then we can change up the address here. So it's gonna be the address we just put in. And wouldn't it be cool to just make websites, make appointment booking websites for local businesses from Bondi Beach? I would say so, and some people are doing it now, so why can't we? If you don't go, you don't know, as we say. All right, guys, that's all you need for your location, but you can change the design of the map by clicking on the map, edit map, design. You can go from blue to something like grayscale, pretty chill, or original. And I personally like original because it gives us a little more color, a little more texture. Now for our header, instead of location, we just want to say, find us at the beach. And then we can edit the whole section, edit section background. Now we're going to do a video of the place we're supposedly at. And apparently this channel, the Bondi Rescue, has this entire beach locked up. We just want some nature shots though. Might be harder than we think. Let's go with this relaxing ocean view and cool, and we're gonna put that as the background video. So video in our Squarespace website, add a video, add from link, and then paste it in. Beautiful, and add. And there you have a beautiful beach background. All right, and click away, and done save. Good job. Next, we can click on blog in our Squarespace dashboard and see that we have several blog posts populating here. So how do we change the blog posts? Well, we're not in WordPress anymore, are we? But if we click on edit, then you can click on the blog posts themselves. And they don't really go anywhere, so why don't we view our site itself at thegrumpypirate.com, and let's see what's going on the blog. So we have the blog, and if you click on one post, it'll go to that individual page, and the page itself is yourwebsite.com/blog, and then the blog post title. Now to edit those posts individually, you're going to go back to your dashboard by clicking done, and then go to pages, and then go to blog. And the blog has all these different pages. So within Squarespace, when you want to add a blog post, you can just click plus, and it will add a new one, and then you can enter the post title, and so on and so forth. So we could enter a new post like the benefits of regular pushing your comfort zone. Then you could write here easily put some pan ipsum, or maybe we want some cat ipsum because it's just hilarious. And go ahead and put that in. There you have it. Then you just need an image because our blog posts, as we can see on the blog, they can have an image, which is the featured image that shows up when you're looking at the list of blog posts. So we can put that in, not on this screen right here, but if we go to Done, Publish, then it zooms out to this wider screen right here, and you can change the featured image, which is just that empty image placeholder. Just click the 3 dots, go to Settings, and Add Image, and then we can grab one from our dashboard, like, for example, the cooking class. And from this blog post settings screen, you can also change the SEO of the post. You can add the SEO title for the search engines and the meta description, and other things like how the social image shows up on Facebook and Twitter. And that part's really important because I get the question all the time on people wanting to change how their images show up when they share them on social media. They can't pick the right image. Well, this will help you have full control of which image shows up. All right, and you can change other SEO features as well. Options where you have the tags and categories. Not quite as mandatory, but categories are good. You just hit enter and then it'll make a new category. All right, and then save it, and now we have a new post. Pretty cool. And if you want to get rid of one of these posts, just go ahead and check it, like Summer Retreat 2019, because it's really not 2019 anymore, and delete it, and delete one selected post, and that will be done. And now we know how to manage our blog. Great job. We can go back to Pages and now click on Login. And you'll see that we have a login feature to our local business amazing site. And that's so people who have repeat orders or have their data saved for checkout later on, like their name, address, so on, you get it, like Amazon, can log in and have that saved in there. Their information will go in profiles right here. So most people won't log in, but if you do decide to have a membership site where people can have their own unique content once they're logged in, or maybe a record of their classes or how they did or their grades posted, that can all be done through the login feature. And because this is just a basic tutorial on how to create an appointment booking website for your local business, we're not going to cover the full members area, but in the future, I know at least a few of you will want to create that so people can feel that intimate interaction with the website. So we'll have to save that for a future video. But for now, just know it's there, and you have that cool feature that can let people log into your site. And this is just what it shows up. It's not really its own page. It's just an email password looking very professional from Squarespace. And we can go to, and we're good. And lastly, we can edit the section header and the blog header by clicking Edit Section, as we know. Background, add image, select from library, free images, and whatever you think would look good on the background of your blog. There are so many options in Squarespace that will just look cool. So why not just this chair? Because that way someone could sit in a chair, and it's not often we get to have a good sit and just do something like read a blog. I love it. And now we can click away and done, save. Okay guys, so we've built the whole website now. We have the homepage looking good, our about, instructors, classes, location, blog, and login page all make sense, and the book a class goes to the book a class page. Okay guys, so now that we have 2 different types of appointments set up for your new customers and clients, which are the appointments that are individual classes and the appointments that are group classes, those 2 different types, why don't we arrange the book a class page so it makes a little more sense to people who want to book. Let's click Edit here in our Squarespace dashboard, and we can easily arrange things so they're closer to the top of the page and people don't have to scroll down. For example, we can edit this section, and we can drag the book an appointment block over to the right and the scheduling block over to the right so they line up perfectly. And now we can drag the choose a group appointment class. Up, 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 up. And if it doesn't want to come all the way up, that's fine. We can just add block. And we can choose the scheduling from our business again, and then edit it. We're going to go with all public appointment types. Classes, and here we have our classes option. So we can just put that individual class up here and easily create a new title. We can bring it down. Then we could add a block, which is a text block right here, and we can copy the contents from this text block just by hitting Command or Control A and coming and putting them into this text block right here. So that's one way to do it. Then we would just bring things up a bit and then bring our class block up a bit. And then of course we'll say something slightly different for each of these. Or what we could do is copy the embed we have down here just by editing the embed. And we're going to go with the code section of it. Now I'm going to highlight all of it, copy it. Okay, and come up here. And you can delete this scheduling block we made. I know it's a little confusing with all these different types of blocks, but we want this block to look like the step 1, choose appointment, step 2, your information, step 3, confirmation block, just like that. So we can add block again and embed. And there it is. We just got to pull it down a little. Now in the embed, we're going to edit, go to the code, and right click, paste it in. All right, and now we have moved things perfectly. And we can go down and we can actually delete this entire section. Oh, just kidding, not add it. We're going to delete the section, remove it, and remove any unnecessary sections beneath it. And we're going to remove this demo section that Squarespace made us do the template. Thanks, Squarespace, but we have our own type of appointments now, so we don't need this. So we don't need this section either. And now we're looking great. We can just click and hopefully drag our appointment block to the right so it fills out. And perfect, guys. So we can now say 2 different things. So we can say book a group class or book a, get that design window out of there, individual, or book an appointment. And then the description will say everything. Get rid of that period there. And then the description will say everything people need. So it all begins with an idea. All right, and then the appointment is going to say something similar, but geared towards an individual. It all begins with an idea. Okay, cool. So if text looks a little bit offline, you might need to just pull it up a shade, but right now I think we're good. It might just be an optical illusion that these are a little bit off. You can always just pull this one in a little or this one down a little. Where are we? And we did it, guys. Great. So now we have the option for your new customers to book a class or book an appointment. They could do it all with Squarespace scheduling right here. There's clearly 19 spots left in our yoga class, or you can get an individual appointment for pottery, cooking, yoga, guitar, or sailing. Awesome. Love it, guys. And as you add in more and more appointment types, like maybe you have counseling or some other type of appointment other than yoga, you can just manually embed them beneath here using the add block and the embed. Great. And if you have different categories of classes, they will come in here. Like, for example, the health category has yoga and it has a different yoga. So the class here also goes right here on the right under appointments. Just another way of getting people to see what you offer, and maybe they'll find it through this column or maybe they'll find it through this column. A little bit of redundancy does not hurt. Believe me, I can tell you from experience. When I sign up for my classes online, it helps me to see them in a couple different places. Okay, now all we need is to edit the section at the top. We're gonna change it from this black gradient, so edit section, background, We're going to go with a image, select from library, free images, and I'm going to look up group classes, enter. And we're just going to click on something that involves people booking from the computer. I know it's not terribly thrilling, but that's what people will be doing, is kind of pointing and clicking and signing up through their laptop. So it helps to have that sort of visual. And then instead of book a class, we can just say, come join us on a new journey. Okay, and if you want that to go across the whole page, that's fine. Or if you want less of the image above to show, that's fine too. In my case, I just want that on one line, and we can bring the text block up a little, and then we can now bring up the entire section. All right, great job, guys. We're all set and done and save. So now that we have our book a class page looking perfect for our group class or our individual appointment, why don't we go ahead and set up the Squarespace scheduling. So we're on a trial of it, and we only have 4 days left. That means that after 4 days, people won't be able to book with us, and we won't be able to schedule them or accept payment. Clock's ticking, and I know that I like our website enough. Squarespace has been easy and user-friendly. I'm ready to commit and make this our real local business website. Okay, enough said. Let's subscribe to scheduling because it's going to do it all for us. Now, when you look at the payment plans, it's going to have annual or monthly, and if you do annual, you will pay less per month. Okay, guys, so we're going to go ahead with the annual plan, and we're going to go and select emerging because we're on a budget. So some similar things to compare that price to would be maybe like a lunch out with friends. So if you typically work and maybe you have your lunch hour for an hour from noon to 1 or something, and you see a friend for lunch, maybe just one day out of the month, make your lunch at home with something in your fridge. I'm sure there's something in your fridge. Make a sandwich, make some pasta with red sauce or pesto, and don't get that lunch out with a friend, and you'll save $14 if that's something you spend money on. And then instead, you can spend it on your website, and that will pay for itself 10 or 20-fold, I'm sure, once you start booking your customers and getting clients to sign up to your services. So that's a good way of looking at that cost and a way to make it work for you. You could also look at $14 as a shopping spree or something, but I spend more like 80 to 100. So if you just don't do that shopping spree a month, you will more than be able to afford this website, which of course will change your life and your business. And I'm so excited that we can all have our own online course website on Squarespace and be on the same level playing field as huge websites like Amazon or Athleta or Lifetime Fitness or different companies that offer different classes and products. You can have your own and be just like them for this small price. So obviously we're going to go annually, and we know we can cancel for 14 days if it doesn't work. So there's really no risk whatsoever, and we can select. All right, and now we're going to do a promo code here and cross our fingers, hope it works. Mine is just Greg Narayan 10, and that is the best promo code I know of at the moment. It should offer 10% off your whole order, and I know Squarespace sometimes has like seasonal ones that'll be like 10% or less, or if you're lucky on like Black Friday in November, maybe you can get a little bit more. But in our case, Greg Narayan 10 is the best annually at any given time, maybe outside of Black Friday. So go ahead and use it. And if you do, I really appreciate it because it'll give me a little credit for sending you to Squarespace, and then you get to save a little bit of money. And yeah, that's just how I keep my videos free and how I get paid a small, humble amount and manage to have this little cottage where we can make videos from. So thanks a ton. And if that's not like the best code, or if it doesn't work, then send me an email. It's just gregnarayan1@gmail.com and be like, hey Greg, this didn't work. What the heck? Why is it not working? And I'll find you a coupon that works. I promise you. So hit apply. We'll cross our fingers. And it worked. Phew. All right, we're in business. And now we can click confirm payment. And we should be good with your Squarespace scheduling plan. Okay, all done. We got our discount, and we're not going to do the email offer. We're not going to fall for that. We're just going to click done. Great job.
All right, guys, so now that we got our availability set up, our appointment type set up, our scheduling to your website set up, and we have an appointment already for the yoga, things are getting booked up, why don't we set up payment so we can require that people pay in advance, and that will hold them to it to show up at your classes. So to do so, we're on the edit window here, and it's been a day or so, so we're going to refresh. Things still look awesome here. Gotta love it. Wow, this is so cool. Can you believe that we made this all together from scratch? Okay, so to set up the payment process, just go zoom in, and then we're gonna go back to the main menu and go to scheduling, which we now have under our belt because we happily purchased it. Okay, and on the left, we're gonna come down and do payment settings. Okay, so we already connected Stripe, and we just need to go to the drop down for require full payment and make sure that's checked. And we have all sorts of amounts. You can even allow the client to choose the amount, like a donation. And with require full payment checked, right there, guys, we can open our site by hitting Command-Shift-N in an incognito browser, so we won't be logged in, or I'm sure you can open it incognito on PC too. And we can visit our site, and I'll show you how the payment looks. So we're browsing classes, we like what we see, and we're gonna book a class. Okay, why don't we do cooking? And we feel like clicking today because we're hungry. Do it for lunchtime. Continue, and now you will have the pay now option. So I'm going to sign up as a demo. And remember, we just have Stripe set up, which seems to be the best for accepting credit cards or cash from debit cards. But you can do PayPal and Square too. Pay now. And then right away, just in line right here, super simple and clean, they'll get the credit card number option. So your customers just put in their credit card and the date and the CVC and the postal code and pay and confirm. And then it'll ask them to confirm one more time, and they'll get an email confirmation and of course the confirmation about their class being booked. And honestly, guys, all people want when they sign up to classes, just like you and I would when we sign up for yoga or pottery, is to know we have our spot reserved. And if the payment is what it takes to do that, we're totally fine. We already understand there's going to be an exchange of money here to book the class because nothing in life is truly free. And then when you get the confirmation sent to someone, they'll be happy. It's really a win-win because they get the confirmation, they know they'll be coming to your class, and you'll get the income. You can then set up your class to the best of your ability. So that's really all it takes. I know this seemed confusing at first because there's different like emails going back and forth, and maybe you haven't accepted payment through a website that you make before. But even if it looks disorganized to you when you're making it, it's fine. It's totally okay. If you follow these steps, you're going to be just fine. All people need is a confirmation email, and believe me, people are comfortable paying up these days. They'll pay $50, $60, even $120 for a class. People just want to know that they have it locked in and they have something to do and they're going to learn a new skill. So now you give them that ability. It all works super clean, and I can't wait to see how many people you guys sign up. All right, guys, we'll click on our pirate head and go back to the homepage, and you are officially done with your online booking website for appointments for a local business that you run. Hope you love it. Hope you can go out and do good in the world. Make sure that you focus on your customers and their needs, just like Amazon did in its early days when Jeff Bezos was building it from a bookstore to an everything store. The more you focus on their needs and get feedback and keep tailoring and focus and keep tailoring and edit and keep focusing on the customer, the more profit you'll make and the more your business will grow. So let me know what you make in the comments. Of course, subscribe because we'll be covering a lot more about Squarespace in the future. I want your website to be up to date and cutting edge with all the coolest sections and modules and widgets. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm Greg Narayan. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.